Mario. He said there's some way we can fix up the opera house.
Now how? We need the plaster, the board, the nails, the tools, and we got nothing. How can we fix up?
Fortunatissimo per verità. Solo il factotum della città. Solo il factotum della città, della città, della città, della città.
Hold it, you opera lovers. Hey, Verge, how about an encore?
Why, sure thing, Skip. I'm just getting warmed up.
Come on.
Ma pari tutto amor, il mio
Rosa, you heard that?
See, Virgil, he has a beautiful voice.
Not a Virgilia's voice, a McHale's voice. He just called them opera lovers. Our problem is just been the sound.
What do you talk about?
The United States Navy gonna fix up our opera house, with your help, of course.
What do you got in the mind of Lugato? He's honest?
Rosa, would I, Mario Lugato, mayor of Volta Fiori, ask you to do something that was not honest? If I don't tell you the truth, may I be struck from above.
Had you meant love from the start, and oh, what a thrill came into my heart. A little girl, with your cute little ways, I am yours for the rest of my days, and this great big world will be divine. A little girl, when you're mine, oh mine.
Those are absolutely beautiful. You...
Pumpkin, and happy anniversary from Teddy Bear. Well, how was it, Elroy? Think she'll like it? That was our song.
Oh, she'll just love it, sir. Just love it. I'll gift wrap it right now so that you can get it off on the afternoon mail plane.
No. I want to play it back. Play it back. I think I hit a wrong note in there.
Oh, sir, there were so many that were beautiful, sir. We'll play it back.
Little girl, you're the one girl for me, little girl.
Afternoon, Captain.
McHale, what's the meaning of you and this goof barging in here like this?
Boy, I don't blame you for being mad, sir. Hey, wow, you got stuck with a bum record.
Boy, I'll say, you ought to get your money back. So it sounds warm. Oh, brother, get a load of that.
Shut up.
Well, it's a good thing you shut him up. I've heard of some lousy singers, but wow.
Have you know that was me singing?
It was. Say, you know, Skip, I kind of liked it myself.
So did I. You know, it had a sort of a lilt to it. Unusual, but very good, sir.
Really? I thought it had. Now, knock it off. You're not fooling for me. It just so happens I recorded that song for my wife. It's her anniversary.
Anniversary? Oh, congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
She's kind of cute. Got a lot of wrinkles, kind of cute, though.
But, George, how dare you touch my... What? And as far as my voice is concerned, I'll have you know that I sang the baritone lead in my yacht club show 3 years running.
No kidding. Boy, that's lucky. In music appreciation, I was just a listener. Yeah, I'm tone deaf.
You cut that out. Get down the airstrip. The plane is in with your supplies. Go down there and take inventory.
Well, now, wait a minute. Let's listen to it again. Maybe we misjudged this whole thing.
Get your grubby hands off of my... Ah!
God, he's going to sing again.
Did I hear you right? You mean You want me to sing the male lead in your new opera?
That's right.
That's great, Virgil.
Just look at them. Virgil and Rose are two new big opera stars.
Well, what do we sing, and when do we start?
We start rehearsal immediately. Immediately after you boys are fixed up at the opera house. Now, first...
Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. What do you mean, fix up the opera house?
Well, the opera house needs a little fixing. Small things, like a new stage, a new seats, a new wall, a new roof.
Stop at a boat. What are you trying to pull, anyway?
How are we supposed to repair the opera house?
Should have known there was an angle.
But the angle, there's no angle. You boys are just to get to the supplies, and then you pitch in, and then Virgil becomes a big opera star, eh?
Oh, now, look, guys, this is my big chance. We can do it.
Oh, you're making me so happy. And the opera should be so beautiful.
Oh, and the intermission are beautiful, too. We sell popcorn and candy bar. Listen, I give you 50% of everything we sell. What do you say, partners, huh?
Partners? We say you're right. And the opera, she will be so beautiful.
They were caught red-handed, sir, just as they were pulling away from the Army warehouse.
That's foul luck. It's too bad that McHale and Parker weren't with them, and then we could have got rid of the whole caboodle. All right, guards, take them away.
You can't do this, Captain. It ain't fair.
Come on, move.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold it. Wait, hold. Okay, Captain, what's this all about, sir? Well, I'll tell you, Alibaba. The band of thieves are on their way to the pokey. That's what it's all about.
That's right. They were caught stealing all those building supplies, and we are going to tell the general about this. And when he finds out, he is certainly...
Right. Shut your mouth. We don't have to explain anything to him.
Well...
All right, take them away.
Now, wait a minute. Look.
It's a phony rap.
Look, Captain, my boys have done anything
deal.
wrong. Look, I can take care of him. I can punish him.
Yeah, we could really crack down. We'll send them to bed without their supper.
Send them to bed without their... Oh. There's a few places I like to send you, you goof.
Sir, here comes the mail truck, sir.
Let it quit poking me. I don't care about
But,
that.
sir, your record for pumpkin. Mrs. Binghamton, your record.
For heavens, all this commotion, I didn't even... Soldier!
Now, wait a minute. Look, we could even take away the powder.
No, wait.
Look out!
Oh, boy. Well, I guess I goofed.
I guess you did, Parker. You broke my record.
Well, it's just because I've had more chances. Now, I'm sure you can win it back.
I mean, a record I made for my wife, you dolt.
Oh, no, wait a minute, sir. Calm down. Maybe we can work this thing out.
What's the punishment for hitting an ensign?
10 years, sir.
A dumb ensign?
Same thing, sir.
Sure it is.
Take it easy, sir. Sir, now look, we've got a lot to do. First, I'm going to help you to make a nice new record, sir. Then I'm going to help you to prepare some nice court-martial papers for those boys. They're thieves.
Boy, what a mess.
Oh, you didn't help it any, I'll tell you that. But what gets me is why those 8-balls would want to steal any junk like that.
McHale, I'm so glad you're back. Oh, good. I suppose the boys have told you about the fixing the opera house for Virgin and Rosa, eh?
What opera house?
Come on, quick. Let's
Wait a
get out of
minute.
here. How can you keep stolen army supplies under the nose of Captain Binghamton? That's no good.
You mean you and... Lugato.
You mean the boys that didn't... Lugato, why don't you keep your big mouth shut?
Well, I just hope it didn't hurt my throat, all that yelling. And I don't want to disappoint Pumpkin.
Oh, no, sir.
How's it sound? Mama.
Higher, sir.
Higher than... Me. Huh?
Sounds wonderful,
Good.
sir. Voice,
All right.
fine. Sir, as soon as we finish this record, I will personally take it over to the airstrip so that it makes that afternoon mail plane.
Rose, I'm glad you passed by so you could tell them. I did it just for you and Virgil, and to make a big, nice opera house for both Fiori. I rest my case.
You should rest your mouth. You say boarding. She's no stealing. And now McHale's the boys in the bigger
Rosa,
trouble.
yeah.
Say un ladro,
No, McHale, you don't...
Hold it just a minute. Will you silencio? Hold it. This is no time to argue.
I lost my opera house.
What do you mean you lost your opera house? I just lost my whole crew. What are you hollering about? Well, we got to figure some way out of this mess.
Ladro, I swear to
Don't be
ladro.
going. Please.
You're the one girl for me.
Hey, quiet in there! Shh, that's Captain Binghamton.
Porca la miseria, such a voice. Only a mother could love.
I'm a mother. I hate.
Son, I'm not too fond of it. I'll shut the window.
No, hold everything. Hold it. I got a plan. You got a plan? What is it? Look, I think I can got something here. We can take my boys off the hook and get you a new opera house.
Meraviglioso! Bravo, McHale's! Bravo!
How we do this?
No, look. We're going to have to convince him to sing the lead in your new opera company.
Wonderful! Sing the little. That horrible voice! That's a sick cow! Listen to him!
Look, you want an opera house, don't you? I want to get my boys out of the brig. Look, you two are going to have to put on an act that's going to make him... It's going to make him feel that he wants...
Am I listening to that horrible voice?
No, I absolutely refuse.
Positively not. You're not going to get me to sing with that off-a-key fag on.
Stop the boat. Rosa, we through arguing?
Si.
All right, then we do what McHale's said. What's your plan?
Play it back, Elroy. I want to make sure it's right.
Oh, sir, it sounded perfect to me.
Little girl, you're the one girl for me.
The voice! That's a wonderful voice! Who belongs to such a wonderful voice? Oh, it's a record. I should have known. Such a gorgeous voice. Too beautiful to be human.
Do you realize you just barged in here and you like the voice?
Shh. Who is it? Is it the Mario Lanza? No. Shh. Oh, it's a Caruso. See, no. It's a no Caruso. He doesn't have that much heart.
Mrs. Giovanni, the voice you're listening to happens to be the...
Elroy, let her guess. Try Lawrence Melchior.
It's a Lawrence Melchior.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, come on. You make a big joke with the Rosa.
Oh, get a load of this. Little girl, you're the one.
It is really him.
Little girl, you're as sweet as...
What a beautiful voice. Who belongs to that magnificent throne?
Lugato, I'm so glad that you come. Here is that magnificent throne.
Carissima. Rosa, you found him.
Found who?
The star, the leading man of our new opera company.
Opera?
The famous Volto Fiore Opera Company. We have looked high and low for a man with a voice worthy enough to sing with her Rosa.
Opera? You really think I could...
Monsieur, I heard the golden tones.
Well, I do sing a little, as you heard, but I mean, my only stage experience were 10 consecutive performances at our yacht club.
Yacht club. That's enough for us. Rosa will be honored to sing with you. I got to tell the others.
Others?
But sure, the people have been gathering outside your window just to hear your magnificent voice.
Sir, he's right. There's a whole group of townspeople gathering outside.
Oh, this is amazing. I mean, I knew I was good, but magnificent. Well,
My friends, quiet, silenzio, per piacere, silenzio. Our beloved military governor has agreed to sing for you in person.
little girl, you're the one girl for me, little girl. With your beautiful ways. Gosh, I didn't even open up yet.
Then you will sing with her, Rosa, and be the big new star.
I mean, how can I disappoint my fans?
Is that the price we have to pay to get out of here? We have to listen to Binghamton sing opera?
I'll deal that at the firing squad. Well, I'd rather face the firing squad.
Skip, I got a weak stomach. Listen, Skip, I was supposed to sing the lead in that opera.
And he sings down good.
All right.
Hold it. Wait, is that all the thanks we get? You're out of the brig, there's no court-martial. All you gotta do is help rebuild the opera house and listen to Binghamton sing one performance. Now, I'd say you're getting off pretty easy.
Easy? Oh, my aching back.
What about my aching ears?
Now, Skip, that is a bum rap.
I'll bum rap you.
Wait a minute, I think I have a frog. Spray, all right.
Open wide, sir.
Would you watch out, you ninny? That's my golden throat.
Fa, so.
Sir. What are you men doing here? Why aren't you at work? If that opera house isn't finished by opening night...
Maestro,
please, Maestro. It's your golden throat.
Oh, you're right, right. The opera house isn't finished by opening night. I'm going to turn you over to the army.
And have you shot?
You did a pretty good job in there, boys. How's it coming out here?
Well, we're almost done.
Well, this has been work, Skip.
Skip, the work I don't mind. But do we have to sit through this thing?
You not only have to sit through it, but tonight, after it's all over, we're all going to yell bravo.
Yeah, and just to make sure we get it right, we're going to practice. All right, now let's hear it. Bravo!
Bravo! Come on, bravo!
Thank you, Fan.
Thanks.
All right, now, McHale, this is important. Now, I want these cushions placed front row center.
Front row center, what for, sir?
For General Bronson and his aides.
You heard him, fellas. General Bronson and his aides?
What's the matter with that, McHale? I'll have you know when I sang in the yacht club, people came from far and wide to hear me.
But,
Elroy.
Sir.
I want you to put in a call for Eisenhower and Montgomery for next week's performance.
Isn't he wonderful?
General Bronson, holy jumping Hannah.
Skip, we gotta do something and fast.
General here's lead bottom hit a high note. We are dead.
I'm headed back to the brig, huh?
Wait a minute, Gruber. Now, look, let's all get our noggins together and we can come up with something.
Hey, Skip, I got an idea. Look, suppose when the general gets there. Well, what do you think?
Murder must be one of those fly jockeys from the new airstrip giving his signorina a buzz.
What'd you say, Mr. Parker?
Yeah, we couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Never mind. It wouldn't work anyway.
And then, now, wait a minute. That plane. It drowned out Mr. Parker's voice. Couldn't hear a thing, right? Well, if it could work for that, why couldn't it work for singing?
You mean old Golden Throat and...
Why not? Look, all we have to do is to go out to the airstrip, make a recording of those P-38s coming in, the loud ones, and tonight when the curtain goes up...
All right, clear the stage. Clear the stage. I don't want any visitors. I don't want anybody back here who isn't in showbiz.
All right, calm down now, sir.
How can I calm down? This is my first opera.
I know.
What do you think when I crack like it? Carpenter! Right here, sir. Don't ever sneak up on me on an opening night.
It makes me very happy to escort you and your brave soldiers to your cushions. Over there.
The general is here. I've got to go and get dressed. 2 minutes! McHale, will you tie that boob up?
Yes, all right.
Down the lights! All right, everybody clear here, clear. Don't let me catch anybody whistling backstage.
No whistling.
And nobody walking under the ladder. Not on the bed. No, don't put any beds on the hats. And what's the thing you break?
Your leg.
Break your leg. Get him away from me!
Boy, is he ever nervous. He's nervous. Brother, if my plan doesn't go through on this thing, the next show will be putting on his 11 West Polly's. Hey, are you guys all set up? You got that loudspeaker all hooked up?
Ready to roll, loud and clear.
Hey, Willie, stand by.
I can't hear a thing.
You're lucky. I mean, we're lucky to have your noisy Air Force to protect us. of Binghamton has a wonderful voice.
Can you hear him?
Sure, I got the 20/20 ears.
So far, we're doing okay. But I think he's starting to sing louder. Willie, turn that record over. We'll give him the twin-engine bomber noise.
I can handle it. I'll get it. Let me try.
Oh, let me get it, Mr. Parker. Oh, Mr. Chuck, what'd you do?
Now, don't worry. I was very good at jigsaws.
What happened?
Mr. Parker just broke the record.
Now it's our turn to break one, the 4-minute mile. No, wait a minute. Hold it. Don't lose your head. Quiet, hold it. Oh. Come here, please.
Outrageous tricks. You're deliberately trying to sabotage my debut.
Oh, no, Captain. We're just trying to help you.
Help me? I don't. What kind of help is it? The general is out there. He's waiting to hear me sing.
But Captain...
Don't you Captain me. I'm going out there, and I'm going to sing. And if any of you men come out on that stage or make one single solitary little sound, then I'm going to run you through. You've seen one of these.
Somebody up there likes us.
You've gone too far this time. Now, you turn off that air raid, sir, or I'm going to call the MP.
But, sir, it is an air raid. Come on, we better take shelter.
Hands off of me. It's just another one of your tricks. Another way, just another one of McHale's tricks. You haven't heard me sing.
What are they doing to my opera house? They're wrecking it again.
I don't care about your opera house. I want to sing.
McHale, quick, get that wild man out of here and into a bomb shelter immediately.
Why you at the general? Get him out of here. I don't want
Binghamton, I don't know when I've had such an enjoyable evening. Air raid and all.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, sir.
Yes, when I first came down here, I thought you were going to sing real opera. That show was hilarious.
Hilarious?
Yes, and that was brilliant, that part of you putting in the sound effects when you were supposed to sing. Absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, too. How about the part when he blew the horn in my face?
Great show. If I can swing it, I'm going to have you repeat your performance before my fighting men on the front lines.
Thank you very much, General. The front line?
Yes, well, gentlemen, back to the war, and a hearty well done.
You've got a big nerve.
Don't you tell me what I've got, because I know what you've got. You've got another racket going, that's what you've got.
Commissario, who do you think you are, insulting the historical good luck fountain of Volta Fiori?
I am the military governor, that's who I am.
Well, you know who I think you am? I think you am a big pain in the neck.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Well, all right, I talk another way. Lei sei un imbecille, il più grande imbecille in tutto il mondo.
What is he saying? Is that dirty?
I don't know, sir. I haven't got my dictionary.
Well, get a detail over here and close this phony thing up on the double.
Wait a minute, you can't do that.
All right.
I'm gonna write to you, President, and get you fired.
You get your finger out of my nose.
Well, you get your long nose out of my business.
You beat it, you phony. Beat it. Beat it.
All right. I go. But first, I gotta take out the coins from my fountain.
You're not taking anything out of any place. You bilked United States servicemen out of those coins, and they belong to them.
You flipper, you lead. This is mine. Who do you think pays the water bill? Please excuse me. Excuse me.
Perfectly all right. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I want you to give it a second thought, Mac. Oh, no, Mac.
Well, Volta Fiori, here we come.
There'll be a hot time in the old piazza today, huh?
Italian dictionary. I want to talk to my date.
Who wants to talk? I like pantomime. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Hey, Chuck, what's cooking?
Well, nothing. Why? Smell something burning?
No. What I meant was, have you got a date for the day?
Me? Oh, no, I'm just gonna take some snapshots from a scrapbook, you know, some of the historic ruins.
Why don't you take a picture of Gruber's date? I've seen her.
Pretty funny, huh?
Look, a rugged-looking guy like you, why, I should think you'd have all the gals chasing you.
Why, sure thing, Mr. Parker. You're a tiger.
Sure, you're a cinch. You know how the dames go for a guy in uniform.
Hey, you don't have to tell me. That's how I lost my girl back home. She ran off with a fireman. Nah, I never have any luck with girls.
Skip, I sure feel sorry for Mr. Parker.
Yeah, me too.
Well, stop feeling sorry and let's do something for him.
You mean find him a girl?
Oh, that should be tougher than the D-Day landing.
Oh, look, we've got to convince him he's not a loser. It's not all bad luck. I think I got a way. Wait a minute. Look, this may sound crazy, but the mayor just opened up that phony good luck fountain of his, right? Well, why don't we use it to get Mr. Parker a girl?
You'll never go for it. Why, anybody with half a brain knows it's a fake. But then again, we're talking about Mr. Parker.
Let's try. I tell you, Chuck, I got a feeling today's going to be your lucky day.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm going to get some great pictures, boy. Hey, what'd I tell you?
Say, pardon me. Hey, grab me over.
Look, boys, we got to work fast. Now, look, Virgil, I want you to go in and find Maria. I know she'll help. Now, hey. Hey, Mayor Lugato. Why isn't the phone working? How come you got it all boarded up?
I don't got it boarded up. You know who got it boarded up? That Capitan of yours with the eggplant for a head.
Oh, murder. He would. Now, tell me, Mr. Mayor, why did he do it?
Why did he do it? Because he had the nerve to call this famous, historical, gorgeous, good like a fountain of Volta Fiori, a phony racket.
Well, isn't it?
Why, sure, but that's none of his business. I hope it's a gold braid that turns green.
Busy. It's one staff meeting after another. Certainly not easy to be a military governor.
Here comes that cockamamie Capitano right now.
Oh, Fairma yourself. Get away from the Jeep. I'm on my way to the airstrip.
Oh, good. They send you back to the United States, magnifico.
The captain is not going back to the States. He is going to Palermo for 2 days to a staff meeting.
And when shut your big mouth. You don't have to explain anything to him.
Have a nice trip, Captain. Have a nice trip. Arrivederci.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Aloha.
Oh, get out. This bunch is up to something, I can tell that.
Oh, no, sir.
When I get back here, this town better be exactly the way I left it. Shove off, big mouth.
Bye, Captain. Bye. Bye-bye, sir. Bye.
Skip, what a break. Yeah, when the rat's away, us cats will play.
Maybe we can still help Mr. Parker.
Hey, maybe you're right. Hey, what do you say, amigo? Do you think you could open up the fountain there just for a little while?
Well, I like it to, it's a big risk.
Oh, well, how big do you figure it would be? Maybe in the neighborhood of 50 lira?
Well, I like a much nicer neighborhood, the 200 lira.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's not nice for honest man to go against the military governor's orders.
100 lira.
I open up. All right, the boys, we open up. Come on, let's go. It's fishing time. Step right up. You want to luck, turn a buck. A buck for luck. Thank you very much.
Maria, we'll never forget you for doing this for us.
You'll be making a lonely American very happy.
The Navy will remember you forever. You're very patriotic.
See, and also I'm out of nylons. But how do I know this Mr. Barker? What does he look like?
Well, now, I'd say he's kind of, he's sort of like, well, I think he's...
You save yourself the trouble, Skip. There he is.
Yeah, that's him, Maria.
I'm afraid this is going to cost you 2 more pair of nylons.
Oh, no, wait a minute. You said... All right, cough them up, boys.
No.
No?
Yes.
There go the last of my secret weapons.
All right. Now, Maria, before you get these, this is what we want you to do.
I take a picture of you while you throw the coins in the fountain, all right?
Hey, yeah. That'll make a great picture. Hey, boy, hey, could you lend me a couple of coins?
Use your own coins. It's your picture.
Well, I don't have any. All I got's a $1 bill, no coins. You just,
Now you got a coin. Throw in the coins in the fountain and make a wish. You want to be admiral? The fountain is going to help you.
Ah, buongiorno, signor Sindico.
Buongiorno.
Hi, Chuck. Hi, Skip. How are you? I'm going to have my picture taken by the mayor. You know, he says I could be an admiral just by throwing a coin in a fountain. Kind of silly, isn't it?
Please, don't call my fountain silly, eh?
That's right, Chuck. Now, this good luck fountain really works.
All the time.
Sure, never misses.
Well, if I had the choice of wishing to be an admiral or meeting a beautiful doll, I know what I'd pick.
You do?
Yes, sir. Being an admiral's a cinch. But glomming onto a beautiful gal, that doesn't happen every day.
I'd be happy to happen to me once a year.
Well, come on and give it a try. What do you got to lose?
The only kind of luck I ever have is bad luck.
Look, why don't you do like Tinker says? Why don't you wish for a beautiful senorina?
Well, okay.
Wait a minute. Here, let's take a picture while you're doing it. Here we go. Hey, I got a lovely shot. Chuck, from now on, you're going to have nothing but great luck.
That's right.
You think so? Nothing's happened yet.
Oh, well, the fountain doesn't work just like that, but soon. No, you got to give a little time. You Americans are always in such a big rush.
Help! Please! My bicycle is running away.
Quick, Chuck. Somebody save her.
Oh,
Yeah, a runaway bicycle. Somebody better do something.
Here, you, Chuck. You're the closest.
Yes, sir. All right, hold it, lady. Here, I can help.
Grazie. Saved my life.
Well, you're welcome, Miss Grazzi, but please, we haven't been introduced.
I need to introduce you. Are my hero.
Yeah, Chuck, you were terrific.
What a man.
That's our ensign. Look at him go. Let's Parker.
Mr. Parker, what do you think of our fountain now, eh?
It feels pretty good. I mean, oh, say, I'd like to meet some of my friends.
Oh, I don't want to meet anyone but you.
You don't? Well, it's understandable, I suppose, if a guy risks his life for a girl. Reason enough she should be crazy about him.
Ah, you're so right, Chuck. Yes, sir. Well, we just wanted to see that you two are both okay.
Oh, what a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Oh, and you are beautiful.
Well...
Carissimo. Can't we go somewhere and talk?
Talk? Well, I'm not a very good conversationalist, but I suppose we could give it a try. Well, boys, here you go. Have a wish on me.
Good boy. Our hero.
Well, that was beautiful, Skip.
Yeah, looked like Mr. Parker's cured.
Never mind, Mr. Parker. I'm going to toss in a coin myself.
Tonight, all right, the boys, step up and make a wish. This is the lucky fountain.
Just a minute. Our deal was only until...
Oh, please, McHale. Just a couple of hours, enough to cover expense, if you don't mind.
Expense?
That's expense. All right, the boys, just come here. This is the lucky fountain. Hey, soldier, come over and take it. Hey!
Ten, hut.
All right. Captain. Hey, Legato, I told you to shut this phony fountain down. You violated my orders.
You violated your own orders. You're supposed to be in Palermo.
The captain's trip has been canceled. He is not going to Palermo.
Shut up! I don't have to explain anything to him. I have gone too far this time, my fine feathered friend. I've got you for insubordination, and you're going to the clink.
And you can't do this, sir. He's a civilian mayor.
And I am the military governor, and he has violated my orders, and take him away, Elroy.
No, please, Captain, let me explain.
Stop, or you will end up in the pokey with him. The rest of you goons, get busy and board up this phony plumbing.
You're going to pay for this, assassin! Assassin! Wait a minute. Fountain, here's my wish. The next time the captain goes to sea, may he wind up with the fish.
Go.
This is a disgrace to Walter Fiori. That I, Mario Lugato, the mayor, should be behind the bars like a monkey in a zoo. This is no way to treat a nice, humble, honest mayor.
All right, it's our fault, and we'll try to get you out.
Boy, I'll go along with that. If it wasn't for your fountain, I'd have never met Maria. Boy, can she ever kiss. I got an idea. Why don't you throw a coin in the fountain and wish that you were out of there? Well, it's lucky it worked for me.
Ooh, if only we could get Binghamton to...
Binghamton! That miserable Capitan. I like to wish him all the bad luck I wish all of my worst enemies.
Hey, just a minute, amigo. I think you got something. If we could make Binghamton believe that closing up the fountain was bad luck, that it put the curse of Volta Fiori on him, huh?
What curse? That's no curse.
Well, look, you know it and I know it, but he doesn't. And by the time we got through with him, why, he'd be so shook up that he'd be begging you to open up that fountain.
Hey, we get it, Skip.
We put the old whammy on lead bottom.
And make him think his luck has changed.
Capisce? But you do not have to take my word for it, Captain.
That's right. You can take mine.
I am not going to take anybody's word for anything that curse of Volta Fiori. That's a lot of poppycock.
Captain, look, I don't want anything happen to you because of a broken-down fountain.
Well, nothing is going to happen to me. Something is going to happen to the mayor. That's who it's going to happen to. Impeachment. I've already notified Colonel Harrigan.
But, Captain, look, you can ask any one of those townspeople, and they'll tell you that something terrible has happened every time that fountain has been closed.
Especially to the rat who closed it.
You get Goofy out of here.
All right, sir. We tried to warn you. But, for instance, this is actually what happened during the War of 1806. A certain General Von Gilder, am I right?
Right.
A General Von Gilder closed the fountain of Volta Fiori. And a horrible thing happened.
The curse was on him. Standing right out in the middle of the square, boulder hit him on the head. Kaboom!
Sir, we've had our differences, but it wouldn't be the same around here without you, sir.
Well, don't worry, because it's going to be just the same. I'm not going anyplace, but you are.
All right, Captain. We tried, but I sure hope nothing happens to you.
Me too.
Get out of here.
Of course, if it does, it's been nice knowing you.
Out!
Ha-ha, curse is already on you. Never used to miss me.
Well, how'd you make out?
Did the captain go for it?
Well, of course not. But we accomplished what we went in for. We planted the seed.
Right.
Come here. Now,
Are we all set? All set, Skip. Everything's rigged. Just say the word, and the curse of Volta Fiori rears its ugly head.
Now, when the colonel sees how I handle the mayor's impeachment trial, I know he'll put me in for something. Probably a citation.
Oh, sir, if anyone deserves to get something, it's you.
What do you mean by a crack like that?
Okay, Willie, ready for bombs away.
We'll drive over to the judge advocate's office.
Oh, what was that? The chandelier fell, sir.
The chandelier?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, put me down. The slightest little thing happens and you crack up. Put me down. It's over now.
Oh,
it's so fast.
Sorry.
Chandelier? You realize I could have been killed?
Oh, that was a close call, sir.
It's too close for comfort. Imagine a fighting naval man killed by a chandelier.
It's almost as bad as being flattened by a boulder. Sir, do you think it's possible? I mean, the curse of Volta Fiori?
Oh, don't be asinine. We're not living in the Middle Ages. Get that thing fixed.
What did
Drive my own Jeep.
Well, Why am I always wrong?
You did put the whammy on the captain's Jeep, huh? Oh, yeah. I took out the brake shoes. Brake shoes? Brake shoes?
Buongiorno, Capitano. Something wrong?
You jailbird.
Captain, what happened? The curse of Fiori, sonny.
Oh, stop with the stupid curse. Get me out of here. Oh, be careful. Oh, now watch everything. Oh, be careful of everything there. Watch everything. All right. Oh, hope nothing's broken.
Oh, nothing's broken. You kidding, sir? The axle's broken, the hood's broken, the jail's broken.
I don't care about it. I mean, me.
I'm just testing, sir, to make sure everything's all right.
Just get away from me, that's all. Get away.
Oh, you sure had a narrow squeak there, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you could have been knocked off.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, sir. I would.
Sir, are you all right? Did something happen?
No, nothing happened. I always stop my Jeep that way.
Well, it's just a little bad luck, that's all. You know, sir, that curse of Fiori could be working.
Oh, poppycock on it. It was just an accident, like a chandelier falling.
The chandelier, sir? Why, what happened with the chandelier?
Oh, McHale, the whole shit. Oh, never mind what happened to this. Just clean up the mess, that's all.
All right, boys, let's do what the captain says. He may not be with us too long.
It's been nice knowing you, sir.
We'll write to Mrs. Binghamton.
Yes, what kind of flowers would you like, Captain?
You write to Mrs. Binghamton and let's get out of here. Stop that, all of you. Just stop it.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Hurry back to the office and tell the judge advocate we're going to be late. Going to be late.
Late. Yes, sir.
Capitano, it's later than you think.
2 close calls in 5 minutes, sir. I'm beginning to worry. Do you think that curse could be for real?
I'm not worried about any stupid curse.
Oh! Look out, sir! Look out!
Oh, we really got him walking on his heels. Here. This should be the clincher, boy. Go get him. Right, come on, Willie.
Must have been an accident, that wine barrel. I mean, there couldn't be such a thing as a curse of Fiori, Elroy. There just couldn't be such a thing as a curse. Oh, what have you done now?
I didn't do it. Sir, are you all right, sir?
Captain, sir! Captain, this is urgent!
Oh, urgent. What is it now?
Sir, these orders just arrived at the radio shack for you. I rushed them over on the double in case something happened to you. Here.
Get your hands off me.
Here, I'll get us. The orders.
Here you are, sir.
What is it?
Well, it looks like a letter, sir.
Well, it looks like that to me, too. Oh, no, they can't do that to me.
What is it?
Well, these orders, the Navy is sending me to Murmansk on a suicide mission. There is a curse of Fiori, there is.
Oh, it's official, sir. You're being transferred to Murmansk. Oh, sir, I've never known anyone with such bad luck.
Well, all these things have started happening to me since I closed down that fountain. I gotta get the mayor out of jail and get the fountain open. I don't want any more of these things. I'm too young to die.
Sir, just how old are you?
Well, I'm only 38. Oh, shut up. Please, will you hurry? Before something else happens to me?
All right. You probably don't have very much time, sir.
Yeah, remember that General Von Gilder with the bowler? Kaboom!
Elroy, keep your eyes open for boulders.
Aye, sir.
All right, the boys. She's open the
All right, then, who wants to make it the first to win?
Oh, me. Here, I make the first wish. Oh, I don't want that curse on me anymore. I want to get those orders changed. I don't want to go to Murmansk. Fountain in the square. Keep me where the weather's fair.
What kind of wish is that?
Oh, I'm not a coward. I just want the orders changed. I can't stand the cold weather. What coins?
All right, that's nice. Sir, another message just came in for you. It's marked top secret.
Can't you see I'm in the middle of a wish? Oh, top six. All right, boy. All right.
Yeah, well, what's it say, sir? What's it say?
Oh, this is the best. I'm not going to Murmansk. I don't have to go. The other orders, they were a mistake. They were for Captain Bingelman.
Captain Bingelman?
Isn't that supposed to be top secret, sir?
Well, who cares? The curse is off me. My wish came. Oh, love the fountain. Oh, sure, I love the mayor. celebrations going on here, Binghamton? Is this an occupied village or the junior prom?
Hi, Colonel. Those wonderful things just happened to me.
I'll bet it did. What'd you do, knock off a case of vino? You asked me to come down here and help impeach the mayor. And instead, I find you dancing the tango, both of you together.
No, tarantella together.
The tarantella. Oh, shut up.
A minute, Colonel. What is this about impeach them? Where did you hear a thing like that?
From you. On the telephone. That's where, just a couple of hours ago.
Oh, well, that must have been garbled. The message was garbled. You know how the... You see, what I said is the mayor is peachy. He's a peachy mayor. Is that what I said, McHale?
The peachiest mayor in all of Italy. Yes, sir.
Just a minute, McHale, please. Now, what is all the celebration about?
Well, you see, Colonel, I'm the happiest man in the world, and it's all because of the good luck fountain of Volta Fiori.
The good luck fountain? Oh, come on. No.
I don't blame you. No, you see, I wasn't a believer either, but then all these terrible things started to happen to me, and then I got these orders. Then I got these other orders, Colonel, changing. Where are the orders?
Sure. Oh, I better eat the pieces in case of enemy attack.
But they were secret orders, sir.
If this isn't the most fouled-up detail of the year, I come down here to help you with an impeachment, and instead I find dancing in the streets and grown-up officers eating secret papers and a lot of silly raving about a stupid, ridiculous, ugly old fountain.
Watch your tongue.
Please, the fountain will hear you. Colonel, don't make the fountain mad. Now go over there and throw in a coin. Make a wish.
Make a wish. Make a wish.
Go
on, make a wish.
Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a girl like mine. Boy, she ever liked a kiss.
Of all the nonsensical medieval hogwash, grown men actually believing in a silly, ridiculous, ugly, stupid fountain. It's asinine, it's nonsensical, it's moronic, it is infantile. Stupid. Put a coin, let go of me,
Hey, Chuck. You're not dressed. Aren't you coming with us?
Yeah, how about it, Tiger?
Don't you have a hot date with Maria?
I got the feeling you guys faked that whole thing with me and a good luck fountain.
Oh, no, Chuck. Look, just because we had a shake-up lead bottom doesn't mean that...
I don't care what you say. I don't believe there's any such thing as a good luck fountain or a curse of Volta Fiori.
Oh, boy. I believe.
Wait for me, guys. I'm going to get dressed.
Go. What the heck was that?
Felt like an earthquake.
Do you think maybe there really is a curse?
Oh, come off it, will you?
There, get the evidence.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. I'll take that, young man. Oh, sir, this machine must be worth at least over $100, and that makes the charge grand larceny.
Grand larceny? What is he talking about? All right, we got you with the goods. Now, where'd you steal it? Where?
Well, the correspondence school did say it was a steal. I got the course and the whole machine half price.
Correspondence school? What are you trying to pull? Give me that.
A minute. If you want to be the idol of the airways, you get your own machine.
Idol of the airways? You sniveling little...
No, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. Captain, Mr. Parker's right. Here's a receipt from the Collins Correspondence School. See what he paid.
I'm afraid they're right, sir.
Just shut up. All right, McHale. You wiggled off the hook this time, but I'm going to get you. Sooner or later, I'm going to get you.
We're here in McHale's tent. We're going to be talking to Captain Wallace Burton Binghamton. Hi, Wally. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, thank you. Oh, shut up. I just had about enough for you. You understand? Enough. You're going to get it. Bye. Bye, sir. Bye.
What a temperature. Hey, Chuck, you all right?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1.
Panty waste. Wouldn't you know he'd come by that tape recorder, honestly? Telling you of all the rotten luck. Just gotta have a belt. My nerves are all shattered.
Excuse me, sir. Captain Binghamton's office. Oh, yes, sir. It's the judge advocate, sir. General Williams.
That's the way you know how he feels about drinking. Hello, General.
I've been going over your disciplinary file. Do you realize that you've charged Commander McHale and the men of the PT-73 with over 40 crimes in the past 3 months?
That many? That many?
Either they've joined up with the mafia, or you're making a lot of false accusations.
Oh, no, General. It's true. Every one of those things is true.
We'll go over all the facts when I arrive in Volta Fiori this afternoon.
Oh, you're coming to General? Oh, for heaven's sakes, he's coming here. If I don't have the evidence that the General wants, then it's... Ooh, Nellie.
What is it, sir?
What if McHale and his thugs were in here, alone, and say my safe were open, and there were valuables in the safe? They'd make a grab for the loot, wouldn't they?
Oh, sir, that is a brilliant frame-up. But what are you going to use for valuables?
What time is it?
Well, it's very close to... My watch?
Now your wallet, all right.
Oh, no, sir, you wouldn't want my...
Fork it over, boy. That's an order. Fork.
Everything's wired and ready, sir. When the door slams, the map will fall and the safe will open. I still don't understand.
Yeah, well, it's yours is not the question, boy. It's just yours to do and die. Now, you fellas take your posts. Hurry.
Captain, Commander McHale and his men are on their way.
You boob.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I'll put everything back in place.
Well, I'll fix that. There's nothing at all.
Oh,
Slightest move will set off the alarm.
Okay, you guys, let's go.
Here they are. You take your place at your desk. Hurry up. Well, here we are, on the button.
Oh, Commander McHale. Well, Captain Binghamton just called to say that he'd be a few minutes late, but you can go in and wait for him. Come on now, come on.
Come on, boys.
Go right in and make yourselves at home. Go in, all of you. Oh, nice to see you again, young fella.
Hey, will you look at that? A wall safe.
Better yet, an open wall safe.
Best of all, a wall safe loaded with goodies.
Get your hands out of there. Keep them out.
What is it, Skip? You smell a rat?
Yeah, I better get it. Captain Binghamton's office.
This is General Williams calling.
General Williams, the judge advocate?
Would you tell Binghamton that I've been delayed, but I will be down tomorrow at 1600, and to have all the evidence ready so that we can really lower the boom on McHale and his men.
What? Well, wait a minute, General. Look, you can't... Hello?
What's up?
What's
on, Skip?
Holy jumping, huh? Now talk about being saved by the bell. Look, this is a trap. That Binghamton was setting us up as patsies for a court-martial.
Well, we gonna let him get away with that, Skip?
You bet we're not. Let's clean out the joint.
That's too tame.
Let's short sheet his bed.
No. Now, let's get out of here fast. Come on.
Are you men leaving? But I didn't hear any alarm. I mean, you...
I don't know what you expected to hear, but we gotta be going.
Well, you shouldn't. I mean, I don't think... You don't... Please, come back. The alarm didn't go off. I wonder what... My money, my watch. Oh, no.
All right, McHale, I've got you this time.
Sir, it's me, outright, sir.
You bumbling boob, you've ruined everything. Stop with the pictures already. Cut. Oh, I could just scream.
There must be something legit we can do for a little action.
Yeah, like what? Hey, you guys, I just finished lesson number 3 on interviews. You mind if I try out a few on you?
Oh, brother.
Good. Okay, here we go. Hi out there, everybody in Radio Land. This is your man on the street, Chatty Chuck Parker, coming your way with gobs of gab.
Oh, brother.
I was on page 40. Well, now, here we are. Here comes a man passing by now. What is your name?
The name is Harrison Tinkerbell, and I'd like to say a few words to my draft board.
Oh, wait a minute. There may be children listening. What is your most exciting war experience?
Well, let's see. My most exciting war experience was last Tuesday when me and my buddies of the 73 heisted a case of champagne from Binghamton's office. Hey, that was really something. We took it right from under old Leadbottom's nose.
Ah, there's good nose tonight. It says to keep a show. All right, now who is next? Let's see if we can stop somebody else. Stop. What is your name?
My name is Virgil Edwards, and my most exciting experience was the time I swiped old Leadbottom's Jeep and I took that new blonde nurse out for a little moonlight drive.
Moonlight drive? That's a pretty good moonlight drive.
Hey, that ain't a bad idea. If we can't go on any new capers, at least we can talk about the old ones.
Right, let's
Therapy.
Hey, come on, give me a chance.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be the announcer.
Hey, wait, let me tell about the time we took those seniorinas out water skiing on the 73.
Boy, you got it great. How about the time we all went to AWOL for the big Thanksgiving Poker Festival?
Chuck, what happened?
I'm trying to run a radio show and I lost control.
All right, come on, you bunch of ham bones. Let's break it up. Come on, Binghamton ordered us out to look for a prowling submarine. Come on, let's go.
Oh, Skip, we're finally having some kicks.
I haven't got a chance to tell my best story yet.
And besides, it sounds like a phony mission anyway.
Well, phony or not, we're still going. With the Judge Advocate General coming this afternoon, this is no time to goof it up. Now, come on, let's go. Come on.
Well, until next time, this is your man on the street. Chatty Chuck.
I said, let's go.
Chatty Chuck Parker. Bye.
They're all gone, sir. They fell for your fake order.
Well, stop snickering and start snooping.
I'm looking, sir. I'm looking.
There's something here somewhere. They must have left some incriminating evidence someplace.
My most exciting war experience was last Tuesday when me and my buddies from the 73 heisted a case of champagne from Binghamton's office.
Shut up. Who cares about you and your...
That was really something. Took it right from under old Leadbottom's nose.
Sir, it's Parker's tape recorder.
I know. Shut up. Keep talking.
I think the best caper we ever pulled was the time we went over the hill for that big crap game with the Air Corps.
Where was that? When?
That was about 2 weeks ago. We snuck out of town and Binghamton never could prove a thing.
That creep never could prove anything.
Binghamton's the most stupid, inane, inefficient excuse for an officer in the entire Navy.
Gee, I love that kind of talk.
Elroy, they were playing our song.
Oi, wait, that's no song. That's funeral march.
Stupid, lame-brained stunts. Spilling all our capers into a tape recorder here. Look, why didn't you guys just broadcast it on the radio and save Binghamton all the trouble, huh? Doggone it. That's 10 hut.
Well, gentlemen, you're back already.
Yes, sir.
Find my submarine?
No, sir. But we're here to report a missing tape recorder, sir.
Oh?
Yes, we feel that somebody swiped it, sir. Yes, you see, the boys are putting together a comedy radio show.
A comedy radio show?
Uh-huh. And Mr. Parker here was pretending to be the announcer, and the rest of the boys were getting together a bunch of phony stories, just for laughs.
I love to make up stories. Back home, they call me Hans Christian Gruber.
That's what they call you? That's very good, Quentin. Very good, because, the Judge Advocate General, he just loves a comedy radio show. As a matter of fact, I think you've laughed your way right into Leavenworth.
Leavenworth, sir? But we're talking about a missing tape recorder, sir, that belongs to Mr. Parker. And we feel that he's entitled to have it back.
That's right. I got it on approval. And I don't approve of you having it.
Is that right, Goofy? We'll go find it.
How about that, sir?
All right, McHale, you boys like games. Now I got one for you. We'll play hide and seek, all right? You go and seek that recorder, and if you find it...
Oh, Captain, sir, I'm afraid your uniform is going to need a little more work on it. Oh, look out!
Holy Toledo. Captain, what a cloud. Wow, what a comb.
Oh, he's out cold.
Here, come on, let's get him inside. Here, Birch, go on for a first aid man. Go on, get going.
Hey, Bird, you better get two, one for Carpy.
Hey, Copy, how's the captain?
The aide man gave him a sedative so that he'll sleep while I go after the judge advocate.
Judge advocate? You're going after what just happened? What? Look, you don't think the captain should rest?
I am going to do exactly what the captain ordered. I'll be seeing you men at the court-martial.
Brother, what are we gonna do now, Skip?
Skip, we gotta get that tape recorder and destroy the evidence or we're dead.
I know. And with Binghamton out cold, we'll never find out where he stashed it.
Maybe he'll sleep till after the judge advocate leaves.
Maybe we'll get real lucky and he'll sleep until after the war is over.
I'm afraid the war's over for us, boys.
Unless what?
What is it, Skip?
Unless maybe when Binghamton came to, he thought the war was over.
Verge, get another medic. Get a sedative for the Skip.
No, wait a minute. I know it sounds crazy, but look, supposing Binghamton thought the war was over, maybe he'd start blabbing about where he stashed that machine.
It's a wild one, Skip, but it might just work.
Huh?
But how?
Yeah, how are you gonna convince the captain the war's over?
Well, I'm working on it. Jeez. Hey, Mama Giovanni wants a restaurant in New York when the war's over, right?
Right.
Well, supposing we give her one right now. All right, everything okay?
Oh, McHale, I'm so nervous. You sure this place look like a New York restaurant?
Oh, sure, Mom. Everything looks fine. Don't worry. Look, our big problem is to make sure that Binghamton understands that the war is over. You know? Oh.
Skip, I got all the duds I could round up.
Great.
I got all the props printed up on newspapers. The works.
Great.
Here comes the star.
We sneaked him in, Skip. Yeah, no one saw it.
Okay, easy.
Wow. Well, here we go, boys. Times Square, here we come.
He's coming out of it, Skip.
All right, everybody take your places. Come on the double. Let's go. Okay. Easy, Wally. Easy does it.
Here he comes.
Let's hear it for good old Wally. Hip, hip.
Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray!
What is all the noise?
No. Don't try to talk yet, Wally. You just got a nasty bump on the head.
I got on the... What are you men doing in these ridiculous outfits?
Ridiculous outfits? Why, I paid $85 for this outfit on Fifth Avenue just this morning.
Where am I?
Where do you think you are, Wally?
What are you calling me, Wally? If I'm your superior officer and there's a war going on.
A war? Quint, that hit on the head must have knocked him goofy.
What am I doing in these clothes? And where is my uniform?
In mothballs, Wally. Well, the war's been over for years. Look, we're having our annual reunion here in Mama's place, right in New York.
You gotta be off of your rocker. This is Walter Fiori, and I got hit in the head with a flower pot.
Read all about it. Get your New York Daily News.
I don't understand this.
Hey, why don't you learn how to drive, Mac? You got a turnpike. Why don't you stay out of New York and stop messing up on traffic?
Now then, sir, does that sound like the Piazza Volta Fiori?
Can't be. I mean, it can't be.
But it is. It is.
Everybody, sit down. McHale, where's the rest of the boys? There's nothing that tastes worse than warmed up lasagna.
I know, Mama, but you know how the traffic is at this hour.
Yeah, the subways are probably jammed.
What subway? There are no subways in Italy.
Italy? What's the matter with Mr. Binghamton?
Well, an elevated train just passed by and knocked a bottle of wine off the shelf.
Conked poor Wally right on the head.
Knocked him cold.
Oh, these elevated trains at McHale. Sometimes I'm sorry you talk me into opening a restaurant in New York City.
We are not in New York. We are in Italy. I am not a mister. I'm a captain, and there's a war on. And
Hey, sorry I'm late for the reunion, but my last camp there took me all the way up to the Bronx. Wally, baby, how are you? How's everything down at the yacht club? Wally,
now I've had about enough of this. Everybody's out of uniform.
Hey, Quint, what's with him? The wine get to him already?
Well, sort of. He got conked in the head with a bottle, you know, and I think it gave him a touch of amnesia.
Don't you give me that amnesia, Vic. This is not New York, this is Italy, and I'm getting out of here.
Hey, wait a minute, let me see the late paper. Hey, how do you like that? Them Brooklyn bums blew it again. Well, maybe they'll win a pennant next year, in 51.
51? Let me see that thing. September 17, 1950?
Ooh, Rube, he's in bad shape. I better call Bellevue Hospital.
Right. No, don't call Bellevue. No. It's 1950. I believe. Where did the years go?
Captain, why don't you have a little sip of wine, sir? It might make your head feel better.
Yes, Oh, by the way, who won the war? Oh, good.
No! Get back! I told you girls no more autographs. Boy, I'm telling you guys, since my show is tops in the rating, they won't leave me alone. What do you say, take 5 very
That's Parker. What show is he talking about?
With the Chatty Chuck Parker interview show. Wally, don't you listen to the radio? Chuck's a big radio star.
He's a star? He's a boob.
Don't tell me. Wally. Binghamton, right? Hi, Wally. How are you? Chuck here. Say, listen, how about being on my next week's show, huh? What do you say? You got an agent? I'll finalize a deal right now.
Agent? A deal? A show? Me?
Oh, yeah, look, Wally, it's a natural. After all, weren't you his commanding officer during the war?
You two could fill up a whole hour telling colorful war stories.
Yeah, like the time Chuck accidentally sank your gig.
Oh, all the time Chuck drove his Jeep into your office. Right through the wall.
But the most colorful incident of all was the time that you hid Chuck's tape recorder with all our confessions on it.
Boy, that's a great story. Hey, off the record, Wally. Where did you hide it?
Well, who can remember that many years ago?
Well, try to remember, Wally. And I'm sure his fans would love to hear it.
Oh, would they like that kind of a... Well, I mean, so many years ago, I think I hid it under the steps in my anteroom.
Under the steps?
Well, what a great hiding place.
Oh, who would have ever thought of that?
Under which step, Wally? Try and remember.
Well, you see one step, you've seen them all. Use that on the show. But I think it was the fourth step.
The fourth step!
But I've got a lot more interesting stories I can tell Chucky.
Wally, that one you'll never be able to top, believe me. Come on, boys, let's hear it for Wally.
Oh, Wally's a jolly good fellow. For Wally's a jolly good fellow. For Wally's a jolly good fellow.
Where do you think I'll find Captain Bing?
He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow.
Looks like he's over in that restaurant. Take care of the bags, Lieutenant. I think I'm going over there.
I can see it all now, Chucky. At the end of every show, I'll say, "Good night, Chucky," and you say, "Good night, Walt."
Turn, Hut!
What in thunderation is going on here?
Who the heck are you? What do you mean busting in like this on a private party?
I am General Williams, the judge advocate.
General, sir, I'm Lieutenant Commander McHale, and...
Stop it, Quint. The war is over. We don't have to explain anything to this phony brass hat.
What did you call me?
Called you a phony brass hat. Phony.
He didn't mean it, sir. He's got a speech impediment.
What have we... Oh, it's old Elroy. What are you doing in New York, huh?
New York?
Something on your tie.
Oh?
Stayed in the Navy, huh? And still a lieutenant after all these years. Poor chump.
This is the most outrageous. Binghamton, you're drunk.
And what's wrong with getting drunk at a veterans reunion, huh? What's the matter?
General, please, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I can't stand a stupid
John, no.
Get over out of here. I'm going outside and call one of New York's finest.
Don't do it, sir. Where's the traffic?
Wait a minute. Where is the traffic? What happened to Broadway?
I don't know, sir, but this is Italy.
What am I doing in Italy?
You're supposed to be fighting a war, Captain.
But the war is over.
It is for you. Lieutenant, set up those tables. We'll have Binghamton's court-martial right now.
Wait, what do you mean, my court-martial? Wait a minute. It's all coming back to me now. You're supposed to be court-martialing them, General. This is all a plot by McHale and his pirate. This is the most outrageous, the most...
Oh, thank heavens, Captain. You're snapping out of it. Oh, you do feel better now, don't you, sir?
Bet I do, and you're gonna get it.
Quiet, Binghamton. McHale, what are you talking about?
How about you see, sir, the captain got conked on the head with a flower pot, and he thought he was back in New York after the war. And so we were just humoring him until the psychiatrist came.
That's right, General.
Yeah, he was in terrible shape.
But he's coming out of it now.
Welcome back to the war, Wally.
That's a lot of poppycock. General, they're just trying to get my...
In the corner, looked up. Pipkin was a man who could trip over a shadow on a cloudy day. Me, sir? Executive officer? Oh boy, Skip. Did you hear that? I'm the second most important man on the planet. God help us all, Sterling whispered. As the medics wheeled Bluster away on a hover gurney, the admiral leaned over and whispered to Crab, "This is perfect. Sterling and his pack of space pirates will run this station into the ground within 3 hours. When General Grime arrives, he'll see the chaos, fire Sterling, and I'll return as the hero who restored order." It's a masterstroke. Chapter 2, The Sultan and the Skiff. Azure Station, under Sterling's command, was less like a military base and more like a Caribbean festival. Within an hour, the no fishing signs were replaced with catch-of-the-day menus. The Bad Penny crew, a ragtag group of misfits, including a mechanic named Gears and a cook who specialized in moonshine teriyaki, were thriving. However, the peace was shattered when a golden-plated shuttle descended from the clouds. "Skip! Skip!" Pipkin screamed, running into the office. "We've got a problem. It's the High Exalt Malik of the Marami star system. He's the guy who controls half the dilithium in the sector. And he's brought his 3 daughters." Sterling groaned. "The Sultan? Why is he here?" "Engine trouble, sir. They had to land. And the Admiral told us to make a 100% impression." Sterling straightened his cap. "All right, Pipkin, don't panic. We'll give him the Azure Station welcome. Get the honor guard. And by honor guard, I mean the guys who aren't currently passed out, in the lounge." High Exalt Malik stepped off the shuttle, draped in silks that cost more than Sterling's entire ship. He was followed by 3 princesses whose veils couldn't hide their boredom. "I am Malik," the Sultan boomed. "At your service, Your Highness," Sterling said, bowing low. "We've prepared our finest quarters, and as a special treat, I'd like to offer you a ride on the most advanced patrol skiff in the fleet, the Bad Penny." "Advanced?" Malik asked, looking at the rust-covered boat. "It looks like a floating scrap heap." "Anana, ananana, ananana, anananananana, ananananana." "That's stealth plating, Your Highness," Sterling lied effortlessly. "Very high-tech." The Sultan was charmed. In fact, he was so charmed that he insisted on steering the boat. This led to a series of near collisions with the station's main fuel dock. But Sterling managed to steer them to safety with only minor hull damage. However, the trouble truly began when Pipkin, trying to be helpful, decided to take one of the princesses, Princess Siri, for a private tour of the mangroves. "Skip, Skip," Pipkin's voice crackled over the comms. "The engines on the scout skiff conked out. I'm stuck in the middle of the whistling swamp with a princess. If the Sultan finds out, he'll turn us into space dust." Sterling looked at the clock. The Sultan was expecting a formal dinner and a traditional Marami dance from his daughters in 10 minutes. "Pipkin, you idiot! We've got to stall!" Chapter 3, The Dance of the Impostors. Back at the Admiral's quarters, which were being used for the Sultan's banquet, the tension was thick enough to cut with a laser sword. Admiral Bluster, hearing of the Sultan's arrival, had miraculously recovered and was watching the proceedings from the shadows, hoping for a disaster. "Where is my daughter Siri?" Malik demanded, sipping a neon blue cocktail. Sterling sweat. She's preparing a special surprise. A dance so sacred, it requires extreme concentration. Sterling pulled his crew into the kitchen. "All right, listen up. Pipkin is still stuck. We need a 3rd dancer. Gruber, put on that veil." Gruber, a hairy, barrel-chested torpedo man, looked at the silk dress. "Skip, I haven't shaved my legs since the Great Asteroid War. I'm gonna look like a Wookiee in a tutu. Just do it, and keep your face covered. The music began a rhythmic, hypnotic thumping of drums. 3 veiled figures emerged. 2 were the actual princesses, and the third was a suspiciously muscular, hairy figure who moved with all the grace of a malfunctioning robot. Remarkable, the Sultan whispered. Siri has grown. She looks much more robust. Admiral Bluster, sensing a trap, lunged forward. Aha! That's not a princess. That's a torpedo man. He grabbed the veil and ripped it off. Gruber stood there, blushing, under a layer of heavy makeup. The Sultan gasped. What is this? An assassin? No, Your Highness. Sterling shouted. It's an ancient Azure custom. The dance of the protector. We use our strongest warriors to symbolize the strength of your lineage. The Sultan paused, looking at Gruber's terrified face. The strength of my lineage. Yes, I see. A warrior princess. Very progressive. I love it. Bluster collapsed into a chair. Chapter 4. The Neurojoy missed. A few weeks later, the station was back to its usual state of controlled chaos. However, a new threat appeared. Grand Inspector Grime had sent word that the fitness board was convening to evaluate Ensign Pipkin's competency. They're going to kick me out, Skip, Pipkin cried. I'm going to be a civilian. I don't know how to be a civilian. I can't even make toast without a manual. Sterling knew he had to save his friend. He also knew that Admiral Bluster was the one pushing for the board. The only way to stop this is to get Bluster in a good mood. A really good mood. How? Gears asked. The man hasn't smiled since the invention of the tax. We use the secret weapon, Sterling said. Neurojoy missed. I've got a tank of it from the medical supply drop. It's supposed to be used for post-traumatic surgery, but in small doses, it turns a drill sergeant into a golden retriever. The plan was simple. While Bluster was in his office, preparing the case against Pipkin, the crew would pump the mist through the ventilation system. Admiral, Sterling said, walking into the office with a fake gift. On behalf of the crew, we've brought you these bluebells from the Lower Archipelago. They're very rare. Get those weeds out of here, Bluster barked. And get ready, because Pipkin is finished. He's done. Bluster stopped. He took a deep breath. A strange, tingly sensation began to creep up his spine. The world suddenly looked much brighter. The rust on the walls looked like gold. Sterling's face looked like a beautiful sunset. He's a wonderful boy. Bluster giggled. Pipkin is just a little fuzzy-wuzzy teddy bear, isn't he? Sterling grinned. He sure is, Admiral. And about that fitness board? Cancel it. Bluster laughed, spinning in his chair. In fact, promote him. Make him an admiral. Make everyone an admiral. Let's have a parade. I love you, Silas. I love everyone. Lieutenant Crabbe walked in, horrified. Admiral? The inspector is on the comms. Tell him to jump into a black hole, Bluster shouted, throwing a handful of antacid tablets into the air like confetti. We're having a party. Bring in the hula droids. The Neurojoy mist, however, was a double-edged sword. Just as Bluster was at his peak of hysterical happiness, Grand Inspector Grime actually arrived. He walked into the office to find the Admiral dancing on the desk, singing a bawdy space shanty, while Sterling and Pipkin tried to hide a giant tank of gas behind a curtain. Admiral Bluster? Grime's voice was like grinding stones. Oh, it's Iron Gut. Bluster squealed, lunging forward to hug the terrifying inspector. You look so handsome today. Have you lost weight? You're like a little silver fox. Grime stood frozen as the Admiral pinched his cheeks. Sterling, Grime whispered, is your commanding officer having a stroke? Combat fatigue, sir, Sterling said quickly. He's been under a lot of strain. He thinks everyone is his cousin. I see, Grime said, looking at Bluster, who was now trying to feed him a blue flower. Clearly, the man needs a rest. A long, long rest in a padded room. Chapter 5. The Case of the Missing Credits. The most legendary disaster in the history of Azure Station, however, involved the great payroll heist. The United Systems Command had sent a payroll of 62,000 galactic credits to the station. Because the transport plane was grounded, the task of picking it up fell to Ensign Pipkin. Pipkin, Sterling warned, this is a lot of money. Small bills, unmarked. Don't stop for anything. Don't look at anything. Just get back to the ship. Pipkin, naturally, stopped to help an injured local animal, a six-legged marsh beast. While he was distracted, a group of local smugglers knocked him out and swiped the bag. When Pipkin woke up, all he could remember was a girl's ankle with a heart-shaped birthmark. An ankle? Sterling groaned. That's all we have to go on. We're going to be court-martialed. Bluster is already calling the judge advocate. The crew spent 3 days scouring the floating bars of Oceanus Prime, looking at every ankle in sight. They were nearly arrested multiple times, but they had no luck. Meanwhile, a local swamp alligator known as Gnasher had found the discarded bag in the mangroves. Gnasher liked the taste of canvas. He also liked the taste of leather wallets. Sterling was in the middle of a desperate search when he saw Gnasher sunning himself on a pier. In the creature's mouth was Admiral Bluster's missing wallet, which had been swiped earlier in the chaos. "Skip, look," Pipkin shouted. "The alligator has the evidence. He's the thief." "An alligator stole 62,000 credits?" Sterling asked. "No one is going to believe that." "We don't need them to believe it," Sterling said, a plan forming. "We just need to get that wallet into the courtroom." Chapter 6. The court-martial of the century. The courtroom was packed. Admiral Bluster sat at the prosecutor's table, looking triumphant. Pipkin sat at the defense table, trembling like a leaf in a hurricane. "Your Honors," Bluster shouted, "the evidence is clear. Ensign Pipkin lost the money. Clearly, he and Commander Sterling have stashed it away to buy their own private moon." "I object," Pipkin screamed. "It was the alligator. The alligator was crazy about my mother's peanut butter sandwiches." The judges looked at each other. "Ensign, are you claiming an alligator is a professional thief?" "Not a professional, sir. He's just a beginner, but he's very fast." "This is an outrage," Bluster yelled. "I demand a guilty verdict." At that moment, the doors to the courtroom swung open. Sterling marched in, leading Gnasher the alligator on a heavy-duty titanium leash. The creature was wearing a small naval cap. "Your Honors," Sterling said, "we have the key witness for the defense." The courtroom erupted in chaos. Bluster jumped onto his chair. "Get that monster out of here." "It's a trick. Sterling is using animal magnetism." "Gnasher," Sterling said calmly, "show the court what you found." The alligator opened its massive jaws and spat out a soggy, half-chewed leather wallet. Sterling picked it up with a pair of tongs and handed it to the head judge. "This is Admiral Bluster's ID card," the judge said, stunned. "And look, inside the alligator's throat. It's a bundle of galactic credits, $42,000 of the missing payroll." I can explain," Bluster stammered, his face turning a ghostly white. I was setting a trap. I put the money in the mangroves to see if Sterling would take it." "So," the judge said, his voice cold, "you intentionally endangered the base payroll to frame an officer? And you used an alligator as your accomplice?" "No, the alligator is independent. He's a freelancer." The judge banged his gavel. "Case dismissed against Ensign Pipkin. Admiral Bluster, you are under investigation for gross negligence and conspiracy with swamp life. Court is adjourned." Epilogue. The sunsets of Azure. As the twin blue suns of Oceanus Prime set over the horizon, the crew of the Bad Penny sat on the deck of their boat, sipping cold drinks and watching Admiral Bluster being led away to the psychological evaluation center. "You know, Skip," Pipkin said, petting Gnasher, who was now the official station mascot, "I think I'm finally getting the hang of this Navy life." Sterling looked at the stack of credits they had found, and the smaller stack they had conveniently lost during the rescue. From the distance, they could hear the faint sound of Bluster screaming about garter belts and planetary inspections. Sterling raised his glass. "To the Navy. May it always be this incompetent. To the Navy." The crew cheered, and in the depths of the whistling swamp, the only response was the satisfied belch of a very wealthy alligator. The end. The Chaos of Sapphire Outpost. A novel of nautical nonsense and galactic gaffes. Chapter 1. The Hoverboot Herald. The sons of Aquaria were not kind to the high-strung. They beat down upon the Sapphire Outpost, a floating metal lotus of a military base with a relentless, humid intensity that made the salt air feel like warm soup. In the center of this floating labyrinth sat the office of Commander Barnaby, the Bluster Barnacle, a man whose blood pressure was currently engaged in a spirited race with the station's steam gauges. Barnacle slammed his fist onto a desk piled high with requisitions. "Hoverboots! Baxter!" I said, "Hoverboots. If the medical staff needs high-tensile, lace-up, anti-gravity hoverboots to navigate the slick decks, you don't question the physics. You snap to it. You shake a leg. Or a boot. Oh, you know what I mean." Lieutenant Baxter, a man whose spine was made entirely of sycophancy, winced. "But sir, the supply chain is backed up all the way to the Galactic Core, and we have a bigger problem. A message just came in from Sector Command. Grand Marshal Iron Joe Jackson is arriving today for a surprise inspection." Barnacle's face turned a shade of purple usually reserved for dying stars. "Iron Joe? Here? Now? Look at this place. Baxter, the petty officer's lounge has a backup in the hydroponic sinks that smells like a dead kraken. And Maverick Sterling's crew is probably running a black market casino in the torpedo bay as we speak." Maverick Mav Sterling was the bane of Barnacle's existence. Sterling commanded the Wave Rider 73, a together patrol boat, manned by a crew of charming rogues who treated military regulations like polite suggestions at a buffet. Barnacle clutched his stomach. My acid levels could dissolve a whole plate. If I'm here when Jackson arrives, he'll strip me of my command before lunch. But wait. Enso, Bilay, Cosito Kumu, a devious, twitchy glint entered his eye. If I were suddenly, tragically taken ill, I would have to appoint an acting base commander. Someone to take the brunt of Jackson's legendary temper. Sir, you don't mean... I mean Sterling. I'll put that rogue in the big chair. He'll be so busy trying to explain why the base smells like fermented seaweed that Jackson will have his head on a pike by sunset. Baxter, call the med bay. Tell them I'm having a cosmic migraine. Hurry. Chapter 2. The Accidental Admiral. Captain Maverick Sterling was currently enjoying a peaceful afternoon on the deck of the Wave Rider 73, attempting to teach a tropical parrot how to whistle the national anthem of a planet that didn't exist. He was interrupted by his second-in-command, Lieutenant Percy Pringle, a man whose primary skill was being able to trip over a perfectly flat surface. "Skipper! Skipper!" Pringle shouted, tumbling over a coil of rope and landing face first in a bucket of chum. "The commander! He's collapsed. They say it's a nervous breakdown brought on by overwork." Sterling raised an eyebrow. "Barnacle? Overworked? The only thing he works hard at is finding new ways to get us court-martialed." When they arrived at the medbay, they found Barnacle draped dramatically over a lounge chair, a wet towel on his head. "Sterling, the burden. You must. You are the acting executive officer. Go to my office. Rule with an iron. Iron something." As soon as Sterling and the confused Pringle left, Barnacle sat up and grinned. "This is going to be the happiest illness of my life, Baxter. Watch the monitors. The destruction of Maverick Sterling begins now." But Sterling wasn't one to panic. He walked into the commander's office, put his boots up on the desk, and opened the comms. "Attention, Sapphire Outpost. This is Acting Commander Sterling. New base policy. Happy hour starts at 11 a.m., and the dress code for the rest of the day is tropical casual. Also, if anyone finds those hover boots the nurses wanted, they're now officially party gear." Within an hour, the outpost had transformed. The hydroponic sinks were being used to chill beverages, and the crew of the 73 had organized a hula hover dance competition in the air raid shelter. Chapter 3. The Archduke and the Disguises. The chaos was interrupted by a royal fanfare the Archduke of the Floating Isles, a man whose wealth was matched only by his sensitivity to insults, had arrived for a diplomatic visit, along with his 3 daughters, the princesses of Marami. Barnacle, watching via hidden camera from his sickbed, nearly choked on his tea. He's hosting the Archduke in a Hawaiian shirt. Jackson is going to kill him. Sterling, however, greeted the Archduke with a confident grin. Archduke Karim, welcome to the Sapphire Outpost. Sorry about the smell, it's a traditional Aquarian welcoming incense. Very rare. The Archduke looked around. I find this atmosphere refreshing. Your Lieutenant Pringle here was just telling me about the ceremonial greeting of your people. Something about a chicken? Pringle, sweating profusely, nodded. Yes, Your Highness. Wow, 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 like a chicken. It's a sign of great respect. Intriguing, the Archduke said. I shall adopt it. But the peace was shattered when the 73 crew's secret party in the air raid shelter was discovered. Sterling had to hide a dozen hula-hoova dancers in a supply closet just as Grand Marshal Jackson Ironjaw himself stomped onto the deck. Jackson was a man who looked like he ate gravel for breakfast. Sterling, why is the commander in the hospital, and why is there a royal archduke doing a chicken dance in the hallway? Barnacle chose that moment to recover and burst into the room. Marshal, thank heavens you're here. Sterling has turned this base into a den of iniquity. There are women hidden in the closets. Look. Barnacle flung open a closet door. Out tumbled Lieutenant Pringle, clutching a bunch of garter belts and a half-eaten pineapple. See, Barnacle screamed. Disgraceful. Jackson looked at Pringle, then at Barnacle. Barnacle, you look like you've lost your mind. Sterling, carry on. This Pringle fellow seems to be the only one doing any real work around here, even if he does have an odd obsession with hosiery. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Gambit. Fuming and defeated, Barnacle decided to take a more formal approach. He convened a fitness board to evaluate Pringle's competency, hoping to strip the young lieutenant of his rank and humiliate Sterling by association. We'll have him out of the service by noon, Barnacle hissed to Baxter. Sterling and the boys of the 73 knew they had to act. They managed to liberate a tank of medical-grade nitrous oxide laughing gas from the infirmary. Using the station's ventilation system, they piped the gas directly into Barnacle's office just as the hearing began. The results were catastrophic. Barnacle, who was supposed to be delivering a stern opening statement, began to giggle uncontrollably. And furthermore, tee-hee, the defendant is a total chucky-wucky. The visiting admiral from the board, a stone-faced man named Shoemaker, looked appalled. Commander Barnacle, are you quite well? I'm wonderful. Everything is so sparkly, Barnacle shouted, skipping around the room and trying to put a lei around the admiral's neck. Let's cancel the hearing and go find some frangipani flies. Geronimo, Pringle, who had also inhaled a bit of the gas, began to perform a heroic, slow-motion salute that lasted 3 minutes. In the confusion, a surprise enemy drone strike occurred. Pringle, in his gassed-up state, wandered out onto the deck, tripped over a wrench, fell into a swivel gun, and accidentally fired a shot that took out the lead drone with a 1-in-a-million hit. Admiral Shoemaker was stunned, a man who stands laughing in the face of death and shoots with such precision. This Pringle is a hero. Barnacle, you're clearly suffering from combat fatigue. Go back to the hospital. Chapter 5. Gnasher and the payroll. Just as things seemed to settle, a new crisis emerged. The base payroll $62,000 in cold, hard, unmarked. Credits had arrived. Barnacle, desperate to trap Sterling, marked the bills and hid them in his own wallet, which he intended to lose near Sterling's quarters. However, he hadn't accounted for Gnasher. Gnasher was a semi-tame sea drake, a 6-foot-long reptilian creature that Sterling's crew kept as a mascot. Gnasher had a particular fondness for Pringle's mother's homemade peanut butter sandwiches. When Barnacle dropped his wallet, Gnasher mistook the leather for a snack and swallowed it whole. "Sterling, you thief!" Barnacle roared later that day. "I didn't steal it, sir," Sterling said calmly. "The sea drake ate it. An alligator? An alligator stole the base payroll? Do you take me for a fool? They held a court-martial right there on the pier. Pringle acted as his own defense attorney. I object, Your Honor. You can't call Gnasher stupid. He had a very unhappy childhood. Just then, Sterling and the crew led Gnasher into the courtroom. The sea drake looked remarkably unwell. With a sudden, wet thwack, Gnasher regurgitated the wallet onto the judge's desk. The judge opened the wallet. Wait. These bills are marked with the serial numbers of the base payroll. Commander Barnacle, why were you carrying the entire station's salary in your personal wallet? And why does this note inside say, trap, for Sterling? Barnacle turned pale. The charges against Pringle are dropped, the judge ruled. And Barnacle, you're paying for the Sea Drake's vet bill. Sabotaging. Neo Numea. And a great chase. The final showdown took place during a supply run to Neo Numea, a glittering trade hub on the other side of Aquaria. Barnacle had insisted on coming along to supervise the transport of a new batch of credits. In the bustling, neon-lit marketplaces of Neo Numea, chaos reigned. Pringle, tasked with carrying the money bag, was distracted by a street performer and managed to lose the bag in a crowd. I saw her, Skip, Pringle cried. A girl in a green dress. Or was it red? She had a birthmark on her ankle. A little brown heart. The crew spent the next 4 hours inspecting the ankles of half the population of Neo Numea, leading to several slaps, one high-speed chase through a fish market, and Barnacle getting stuck in a decorative fountain. They eventually tracked the money to a group of local smugglers who had hidden the credits inside an ancient, ceremonial gunpowder cannon in the town square. We've got them now, Barnacle shouted, arriving with the local police. Sterling, you and your men are under arrest for losing the payroll. Wait, sir, Sterling pointed. The smugglers are trying to escape. In the ensuing scuffle, the cannon was accidentally ignited. With a thunderous boom, the cannon fired. But instead of a lead ball, it rained $62,000 in small bills over the entire city. Manna from heaven, the locals cheered, scrambling for the floating credits. Sterling's crew moved with military precision, using butterfly nets and vacuum hoses to reclaim every single bill, while Barnacle frantically tried to count them as they fell on his head. 42,000. 42,001. Barnacle sobbed as a 20-credit bill stuck to his sweaty forehead. When the dust settled, every cent was accounted for. Sterling stood over a heap of recovered money, looking as cool as a cucumber. Mission accomplished, Commander. Shall we head back to the outpost? Barnacle looked at the money, then at Sterling, then at the sea drake Gnasher, who was currently chewing on Barnacle's hat. One day, Sterling, Barnacle whispered, his voice trembling with a mix of exhaustion and madness. One day, I'll get you. Sterling just smiled, adjusted his sunglasses, and whistled a jaunty tune. Sure you will, Barnacle. Right after we find those hover boots, and as the Wave Rider 73 sailed off into the Aquarian sunset, the Sapphire Outpost remained exactly as it had always been. A floating monument to the fact that in the Navy, the only thing more dangerous than the enemy was a commander with a plan. The End, the Admiral's Ulcer, and the Bayou's Revenge, a novel of nautical nonsense and bureaucratic blunders. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Incident. The island of San Solara was widely considered the armpit of the Atlantic, a humid, mosquito-infested rock, where the salt air was thick enough to chew, and the only thing more corrosive than the rust was the temperament of its commanding officer. Commodore Barnaby Bellows sat behind his mahogany desk, which was currently vibrating with the force of his own blood pressure. He was a man whose face was permanently set in a hue somewhere between overripe tomato and impending stroke. Across from him stood Commander Silas Fox Sterling, a man who wore his uniform with the casual indifference of a beachcomber who had accidentally stumbled into a military commission. Sterling, Bellows barked, slamming a fist onto a stack of requisitions. I am a man of war. I am a leader of heroes. And yet, here I am, being hounded by the nursing corps about. He choked on the words. Gardabilts. Silas Sterling leaned back, a small, knowing smirk playing on his lips. Well, Commodore, the nurses say The tropical humidity makes their stockings slide down like melting butter. A saggy stocking is a threat to morale, sir. It's a supply issue. You are the supply officer here, Silas. If the nurses need garter belts, you snap to it. Shake a leg. Or, well, you know what I mean. Just get them their elasticized support devices before I lose my mind. Bellows grabbed a bottle of antacids and downed 3 of them like they were candy. But the supply crisis was the least of Bellows's worries. He leaned in close, his eyes darting around the office as if the palm trees were listening. I just got a message from a pal of mine at Central Command. Grand Admiral Ironsights Ironwood is arriving today. A sneak inspection. Sterling whistled. Ironwood was a man who famously once court-martialed a seagull for defecating on a battleship. Tough break, sir. This base looks like a carnival after a hurricane. The Petty Officers Club has backed up sinks, the motor pool is using coconut oil for fuel, and I'm pretty sure the Seahounds have a distillery running in the air raid shelter. Exactly, Bellows wailed. If Ironwood sees this mess, he'll have my stripes for breakfast. My stomach acid could start a diesel engine, Sterling. I can't face him. Suddenly, a light bulb went off in Bellows' devious, ulcer-ridden brain. Wait a minute. If I were incapacitated, sick, dangerously ill, I could appoint an acting base commander. Someone else would have to face the admiral. Someone like you. Sterling blinked. Me, sir? You want to put me and my cutthroats in charge? We'd run wild. Precisely, Bellows grinned maliciously. You'll run wild, destroy the base's reputation in front of Ironwood, and I'll be safely tucked away in the infirmary, blameless. It's brilliant. Bellows immediately collapsed onto his desk, moaning in a theatrical display of agony. Oh, the pain, the vapors. Chisel. Ensign Chisel, come quickly. I'm fading. Ensign Chip Chisel, Bellows' loyal and dim-witted sycophant, burst into the room. Commodore. What's happened? I'm a very sick man, Chisel, Bellows whispered. Call the medic. Tell them I've got tropical brain rot. Sterling is in charge. God help us all. Chapter 2. The Sultan and the Seahounds. With Silas Sterling as acting base commander and his bumbling second-in-command, Lieutenant Arthur Pringle as executive officer, San Solara transformed within hours. The strict military protocols were replaced by a vibe-based command structure. The first major crisis of Sterling's reign arrived in the form of a royal visitor. The Sultan of Orizaba, a fabulously wealthy and extremely traditional ruler, was being flown into the base, along with his 3 daughters, the princesses of the moon, the sun, and the stars. Now listen, Pringle, Sterling said, adjusting his cap. The Sultan is a big deal. He's got oil, he's got influence, and he's got a very short fuse. We need to impress him. Right, Skip. Pringle saluted, accidentally hitting himself in the eye with his own thumb. I'll make sure the honor guard is standing straight. Or at least standing. The Sultan arrived, looking like a man carved out of obsidian and draped in silk. He was accompanied by a mountain of luggage and 3 veiled women who moved with the grace of gazelles. I am Karim, the Sultan announced. I travel with my most valuable cargo. Are you the men who will ensure our safety? Wowie, wow, wow, Pringle whispered, staring at the princesses. The Sultan's eyes flashed like lightning. What did you say, young man? Sterling stepped in quickly. He said. Welcome, wise one. It's a ceremonial greeting in our local dialect, like a chicken. Greeting the sun, like a chicken? The Sultan mused. Interesting. I shall remember this American custom. The visit went well until Pringle, in an attempt to be constructive and educational, tried to show the Sultan how a PT boat worked. He allowed the Sultan to take the wheel of the Seahound 7. The result was a zigzagging course through the harbor that nearly decapitated a pelican and sent Bellows, who was watching from his infirmary window, into a secondary fit of genuine hypertension. Chapter 3. The Laughing Gas Gambit. While the Sultan was being entertained, a new threat appeared. Grand Admiral Ironwood's fitness board. He had decided that, Lieutenant Pringle was wholly unfit for service after seeing him accidentally salute a fire hydrant. "We've got to save Pringle's career," Sterling told his crew, a motley collection of gamblers, moonshiners, and grease monkeys. "If we can get Bellows in a good mood, he might cancel the board, but Bellows hasn't smiled since 1934. "I've got an idea, Skip," said Nails Miller, the crew's resident thief. "I borrowed a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas from the dental clinic. If we pump that into Bellows' office through the air vents, he'll be so hysterical he'll promote Pringle to admiral." The plan was executed with military precision. As Bellows sat in his office, fuming over his illness, a thick, invisible cloud of gas began to waft through the room. "Sterling, Pringle, get in here," Bellows yelled, but his voice suddenly went up an octave. He began to giggle. You cutthroats, you, Tehi. You're all under. Ha ha ha. Why are you wearing that hat, Pringle? It looks like a pancake. He's high as a kite, Skip, Pringle whispered. "Commodore," Sterling said, trying to keep a straight face. "About the fitness board." "Cancel it," Bellows shrieked, rolling on the floor. "Cancel everything. Give everyone a medal, especially the alligator." "The alligator, sir?" Sterling asked. "Yes, the one in the closet. He's wearing a tutu. Ha ha." The gas was so potent that Bellows began to hallucinate that the base was being invaded by frangipani. Flies, tiny, invisible spies that only he could see. He ran out of his office, swatting at the air with a fly swatter, screaming about the Imperial Insect Army, while Admiral Ironwood looked on in horror. "Is he always like this?" Ironwood asked, his voice cold as ice. "It's combat fatigue, sir," Sterling lied smoothly. "He sees flies. We just play along to keep him calm." Chapter 4. The Bayou Beast and the Buried Booty. The chaos reached its peak when Sydney, a 300-pound alligator that Pringle had adopted as a mascot, went missing. Sydney wasn't just any alligator. He was a gourmet. He had a specific fondness for Lieutenant Pringle's mother's homemade peanut butter sandwiches. However, Sydney had accidentally swallowed something much more valuable than a sandwich. Commodore Bellows' wallet, which contained the $62,000 base payroll in unmarked $100 bills. "Sterling," Bellows roared, having finally come down from the laughing gas. "My wallet is gone. And the payroll. You've stolen it. You and your pirates are headed for the brig." "Sir, we didn't take it," Pringle pleaded. "Sydney did. He thought it was a snack. An alligator stole $60,000? Bellows sneered. "And I suppose he's going to open a savings account in the swamp?" "Arrest them. All of them." The court-martial was held in the base's mess hall. Bellows was the prosecutor, the judge, and the star witness. Pringle, acting as his own defense attorney, argued that Sydney had an unhappy childhood and was suffering from a peanut butter deficiency. "Your Honor," Pringle cried, "I demand a mistrial. The alligator is crazy. He's not responsible for his actions." "Order!" Ironwood shouted, presiding over the mess. "This is a naval base, not a zoo. Produce the money or produce the thief." Just then, Sterling and his crew burst in, dragging a reluctant Sydney on a leash. The alligator looked bloated and distinctly grumpy. "There's your thief, sir," Sterling announced. "And the evidence is—" "Open his mouth, Pringle," Bellows commanded. "Get my payroll." Pringle leaned in close to the alligator's snout. "Come on, Sydney. Be a good boy. Open up for Daddy." Sydney, sensing a lack of peanut butter, snapped his jaws shut, narrowly missing Pringle's nose. The courtroom erupted into a brawl. In the confusion, an old decorative cannon in the corner of the hall, used for ceremonial salutes, was accidentally triggered by a stray kick from Ensign Chisel. Boom! The cannon didn't fire a shell. It fired a cloud of green paper. It turned out that the crooks hadn't been Sterling's crew, but a pair of local smugglers who had used the hollow cannon as a hiding spot for the stolen payroll they had snatched during the air raid drill. Chapter 5. The Final Salute. Admiral Ironwood looked at the raining money, then at the hysterical Bellows, then at the grinning Sterling, and finally at the alligator, who was currently chewing on Pringle's shoe. "Bellows," Ironwood said quietly, "you are clearly suffering from a complete mental collapse. Between the invisible flies, the laughing gas, and the alligator trials, I believe you need a long, long vacation. But sir, Bellows sputtered, Sterling. He set me up. He's the one. Sterling, Ironwood turned to the commander. You've kept this base running, despite having a lunatic for a superior officer. Bellows is being transferred to a weather station in the Arctic. I hear the flies aren't as bad there. As Bellows was led away, screaming about garter belts and frangipani spies, Silas Sterling put an arm around Pringle. Well, Arthur, Sterling said, watching the sunset over San Solara. We're in charge now. What's the first order of business? Pringle looked down at Sidney the alligator, who was finally happily munching on a peanut butter sandwich. Sterling laughed, a long, genuine sound that echoed over the lagoon. I think we've had enough nautical nonsense for 1 week. And so, the sea hounds of San Solara remained the kings of the archipelago, proving once and for all that in the Navy, if you can't be good, you'd better be fast, and you'd better have a very hungry alligator on your side. Epilogue. The Arctic Breeze. 6 months later, at Weather Station 0, a disgraced Barnaby Bellows sat in 3 layers of parkas, staring at a thermometer. Suddenly, he heard a sound, a giggle. He looked at Ensign Chisel, who was shivering beside him. Chisel, do you hear that? The iceworms. They're laughing at me. Yes, sir, Chisel whispered. I believe they are, sir. Would you like another antacid? Bellows just sighed, staring out at the endless white. Somewhere, far to the south, Silas Sterling was probably throwing a party, and somewhere, Sidney the alligator was probably still looking for a sandwich. The Chaos of Archipelago. 7. A Comedy of Errors, Alibis, and High Seas. Hijinks, Volume I. The Director's Ulcer and the Iron Oversight. Archipelago. 7 was not a place where history was made. It was a place where history went to take a nap and ended up oversleeping. Situated in the lukewarm waters of the Cerulean Sea, the outpost served as the headquarters for the Global Security Initiative, GSI. At the helm of this bureaucratic nightmare was Director Barnaby Blood Pressure Bumbleton, a man whose primary contribution to modern warfare was a specialized technique for screaming until his face turned the exact shade of a ripe pomegranate. Bumbleton paced his office, clutching a supply manifest that seemed to be mocking him. Garter belts, he shrieked, slamming the paper onto his mahogany desk. Commander Maverick, you are the chief logistics officer of this godforsaken sandbar. If the nursing staff requires specialized hosiery to maintain morale, you don't file a 3-part grievance. You snap to it, shake a leg, or better yet, shake theirs. Just get them the belts. Across the desk sat Commander Casanova Maverick, a man who looked like he had been born in a Hawaiian shirt and intended to be buried in one. He leaned back, his boots resting on a crate of confiscated rum. Director, with all due respect, I'm a sailor, not a haberdasher. The current requisition system is tied up in knots. Besides, the boys at the petty officers' lounge are more concerned about the plumbing. The sinks are backing up again. I am the commanding director of this sector, Bumbleton roared, his voice cracking. I am a strategist, a leader of men. I am not a plumber. The door burst open, revealing Specialist Panic Percy, Bumbleton's high-strung adjutant. Percy looked like a startled rabbit that had recently discovered caffeine. Sir, message from the Central Command. Grand Overseer Grizzly Grim is arriving for a sneak inspection today. The color drained from Bumbleton's face, leaving it a sickly shade of oatmeal. Grim? Iron Pants Grim? The man who court-martialed his own shadow for lagging behind? He clutched his stomach. My acid is bubbling. I can feel it. It could start a diesel engine. Do you realize the state of this base, Maverick? It's a circus. A tropical asylum run by the inmates. Maverick smiled, a slow, predatory thing. Well, sir, if you're feeling that poorly, maybe you shouldn't face him. You know how Grim is about health. He considers a common cold to be an act of treason against the initiative. Bumbleton paused, his gears turning. If I were... incapacitated. I could appoint an acting director, someone to take the brunt of Grimm's wrath, someone who, perhaps, would look so incompetent that Grimm would be too busy firing them to notice my budget discrepancies. A supreme sacrifice, sir, Maverick nodded solemnly. But who would be foolish enough? You, Maverick, you and your band of cutthroats. Bumbleton pointed a trembling finger. I'm officially sick. Percy, call the medics. Tell them I've succumbed to jungle melancholy or tropical gout. Anything. Just get me to the infirmary. As Bumbleton collapsed into Percy's arms with a theatrical groan, Maverick adjusted his sunglasses. The lunatics were officially taking over the asylum, and the Cerulean Sea would never be the same. Volume 2, The Archduke and the Impostors. The transition of power was swift and glorious. Within 3 hours of Maverick taking the acting director's seat, the dress code on Archipelago 7 had shifted from strict military to beachside casual. The Grand Overseer Grimm had arrived, been suitably confused by the lack of saluting, and was currently being distracted by a series of increasingly elaborate cocktail parties. However, the peace was shattered by the arrival of the Archduke of El Dorado, a VIP whose family controlled 90% of the world's fuel reserves. He arrived on a gold-plated yacht with his 3 daughters, the princesses of petroleum. Commander Maverick, the Archduke said, stroking his silver beard. I am Karim. We seek sanctuary from the pirates of the Black Current. But tell me, can these men be trusted with my most valuable cargo? He gestured to his daughters, who stood behind him, veiled and silent. Maverick's crew, led by the scrounger known as Grover, immediately began making wow noises that bordered on the ultrasonic. Your Highness, Maverick said, bowing low. My men are paragons of virtue. Mostly. Grover, stop debasing yourself. Help the princesses with their luggage. Bumbleton, watching from the infirmary window in his silk pajamas, was livid. He's hosting a sultan. He's winning over the Archduke. If that man gives Maverick a medal, I'll never get my job back. Bumbleton hatched a scheme. He knew Maverick's crew was fond of borrowing the base's high-speed interceptor boat for private parties. He also knew that one of the princesses, Siri, was actually a local girl Maverick had hired to fill in, because the real Princess Siri had stayed behind in the capital. At the Grand Gala that evening, Bumbleton emerged, dressed in a stolen seaman's uniform to go undercover. He watched as the princesses performed a traditional dance. Look at them, Bumbleton hissed to Percy, who was disguised as a potted palm. That one on the left, she's doing a hula. Archdukes don't have hula dancing daughters. She's an imposter. Bumbleton lunged from the shadows, grabbing the dancer's veil. I've got you! You phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest. The veil came away to reveal the real Archduke's daughter, who had, in fact, taken a liking to the local culture. The Archduke stood up, his face turning a dark purple. Totarisi, Director Bumbleton, why are you dressed like a deckhand? And why are you assault testing my daughter's facial features? I thought she was a pirate, Bumbleton stammered. Grand Overseer Grimm stepped forward, his eyes like cold steel. Bumbleton, you are clearly suffering from combat fatigue. The hallucinations are getting worse. First, you claim there are hula girls in the air raid shelters, and now you're attacking royalty. Get back to bed. That is an order. Maverick sipped a martini, watching Bumbleton being dragged away. Tough breaks, sir. High blood pressure is a silent killer. Volume 3, The Curse of the SS Kraken. With the Archduke mollified and Bumbleton confined to quarters, Maverick faced a new challenge. To truly secure his position, he needed to make the base's most problematic asset, the SS Kraken, seem functional. The Kraken was a patrol boat with a reputation so foul it was rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a cook who had died while trying to souffle in a hurricane. It was officially designated PT-13, a number that sent the crew into fits of superstitious shivering. I'm telling you, Skip, Grover whispered as they stood on the dock. That boat is a Jonah. The first crew disappeared. The second crew turned into insurance salesmen. It's jinxed. Maverick looked at the rust bucket. It's not jinxed, Grover. It's just neglected. But if Bumbleton thinks we're scared of it, he'll try to use it to get us transferred to the Arctic Circle. Bumbleton, sensing an opportunity, leaked a fake report to the crew, suggesting that PT-13 was destined to explode on its next voyage. The crew, led by the bumbling specialist Percy, who had defected back to the winning side, began to panic. We've got to make Bumbleton think the boat is too haunted for even him to handle, Maverick decided. That night, the base was filled with eerie noises. Projections of ghostly sailors appeared on the mist above the harbor. The Kraken's engines started by themselves, thanks to a clever remote wire setup by the crew's mechanic. Bumbleton, armed with a flashlight and a bottle of nerve tonic, crept down to the docks. I know you're there, Maverick. You can't scare me with. Suddenly, a voice boomed from the Kraken's loudspeaker, a deep, ethereal groan. Barnaby Bumbleton, why have you forsaken the supply of garter belts? Bumbleton shrieked, dropping his tonic. The ghost of the haberdashery! It's come for me! He turned and ran, straight into the arms of Grand Overseer Grimm, who was out for a midnight stroll. Bumbleton, Grimm sighed. Why are you screaming about underwear at a boat? I'm starting to think you don't need a hospital. You need an exorcist. Volume IV. The Laughing Gas Gala and the Dragon's Gambit. The final straw for Bumbleton was the loss of his private stash of $100 bills. The base's emergency payroll, which he had borrowed for a private investment in a pineapple plantation. He had hidden the wallet in a hollowed-out coconut, which was then unfortunately stolen by a local Komodo dragon named Gulp. Gulp was a massive, lethargic lizard that the crew had adopted as a mascot. Gulp had a penchant for two things: peanut butter sandwiches and expensive leather. That dragon ate the payroll. Bumbleton screamed during a formal dinner meant to celebrate the Grand Overseer's departure. Maverick trained him to do it. He's a larcenous reptile. Maverick shook his head. Sir, Gulp is an innocent creature of nature. He doesn't even have a bank account. In a desperate bid to clear the crew's name and recover the money before a fitness board could convene, Maverick utilized a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas procured from the base dentist. He rigged the ventilation system during Bumbleton's final hearing. As the board members sat down, the room began to fill with the sweet, invisible gas. Bumbleton, usually a fountain of vitriol, began to giggle. And furthermore, Bumbleton titters. Maverick is oh, look at his ears. They're so floppy. He looks like a bunny. Hehe, the Grand Overseer joined in. He does look like a bunny. A very brave, strategic bunny. Ha ha ha. Amidst the hysteria, Gulp the dragon waddled into the courtroom. He looked at Bumbleton, opened his massive maw, and deposited a soggy, leather wallet onto the director's lap. The evidence. Bumbleton gasped through tears of laughter. The lizard brought me a gift. Oh, Gulp, you scamp. I love you. I love everyone. In his gas-induced euphoria, Bumbleton signed a document declaring Maverick and his crew the finest unit in the initiative, and accidentally authorized a 500% increase in the beer budget. Volume V, the Great Payroll Canon. The effects of the laughing gas eventually wore off, leaving Bumbleton with a massive headache and a signed confession of his own incompetence. However, one final disaster remained. The actual payroll had been misplaced during a pirate raid on the supply transport. The pirates had cornered the crew in an old colonial fort. Outnumbered and outgunned, the crew found an ancient, decorative brass cannon. We're out of ammo, Skip, Grover yelled as the pirates advanced. The money, Maverick shouted. The payroll bags. They're made of heavy canvas. Stuff them into the cannon. You want to fire the base's salary at the enemy? Percy asked, horrified. It's the only way. Fire for effect. The cannon roared, but instead of a ball, it launched $60,000 in small, unmarked bills. The sky over the Cerulean Sea rained cash. The pirates, distracted by the sudden windfall, stopped fighting and began diving into the water to catch the fluttering notes. By the time the dust settled, the crew had captured the pirates, who were too weighed down by wet money to run, and recovered nearly $40,000 of the original amount. Director Bumbleton arrived on the scene just as Maverick was counting the remaining stacks. "Maverick," Bumbleton bellowed, "where is the rest of the payroll? There's $20,000 missing." Maverick looked at the ancient cannon, then back at Bumbleton. "Well, sir, as the acting director, I authorized a strategic dispersal of assets to neutralize the enemy. It was a 100% success." Bumbleton looked at the pirates, then at the laughing Grand Overseer Grimm, who was holding a handful of caught 20s. "Magnificent," Grimm said, clapping Maverick on the back. "Using capitalism to defeat piracy. Truly a masterpiece of modern warfare. Bumbleton, take notes. This man is a genius." Bumbleton slumped against the brass cannon. He looked at the sea, then at his wallet, then at the grinning Komodo dragon at his feet. "I don't care," Bumbleton whispered to the wind. "I just don't care anymore. Maverick, just..." And so, Archipelago 7 returned to its usual state of chaotic equilibrium. Maverick remained the king of the island, Bumbleton remained the king of the infirmary, and Gulp the dragon lived happily ever after on a steady diet of peanut butter and the occasional bureaucratic document. The end. The end, the scoundrels of Veridia. A Commodore's Nightmare. Chapter 1. The Ulcer and the Iron Marshal. Commodore Barnaby Bluster was a man whose blood pressure could be measured by the visible pulsing of a vein on his forehead. A vein the soldiers of the Veridia peacekeeping base affectionately called the fuse. On this particular humid Tuesday, the fuse was glowing. Bluster paced his office, a mahogany-paneled room overlooking the azure waters of the Veridian archipelago. It was a beautiful view, but all Bluster saw was the filth of his subordinates. Specifically, the scoundrels, a unit led by the legendary rule-breaker, Major Maverick Mav Sterling. "Wow, wow, wow," Bluster barked, slamming his hand onto a supply ledger. "Silk stockings, garter belts, Lieutenant Pringle, you are the supply officer of this base. Not a high-end lingerie boutique. Lieutenant Percy Pringle." A man who looked like he had been startled by a loud noise 20 years ago, and never quite recovered, adjusted his spectacles. "But sir," the medical nurses were very specific, "the tropical humidity makes standard issue hosiery quite uncomfortable. I was just trying to maintain morale." "Snap to it, Pringle! Shake a leg!" Bluster roared, then winced, clutching his midsection. "Everything is on my shoulders. I'm the commanding officer, not a haberdasher." He brandished a decoded telegram. "High Marshal Steele Glanstone is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Iron Marshal Stone, the man who once court-martialed a private for having an asymmetrical eyebrow." The base was a mess. The Petty Officers Club had backing up sinks. The scoundrels were likely roasting a stolen pig on the beach, and the supply lines were clogged with lace and silk. "Sir," Pringle whispered, "perhaps you should take your pills?" Bluster looked at the pills, then at the window where he could see Maverick Sterling's crew, the crew of the Seawolf Interceptor, playing volleyball with a coconut. A dark, brilliant light flickered in his eyes. "If I were sick," Bluster mused, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial hiss. "Truly, terribly sick. I would have to appoint an acting base commander, someone to face the marshal, and if that person happened to be Sterling, he and his cutthroats would destroy themselves in front of the marshal's very eyes." "It's brilliant. Pringle, call the medic. I feel a supreme test of my health coming on." He collapsed onto his chaise longue with the grace of a falling piano. "Oh, the pain. I'm paying, Pringle. I'm paying for my service." Chapter 2. The Acting Commander. Major Maverick Sterling walked into the base infirmary, smelling of sea salt and expensive cigars. He found Commodore Bluster draped in blankets, looking like a man who had seen a ghost or a very large tax bill. "What's the word, Commodore?" "I heard you were at death's door," Maverick said, his grin suggesting he knew exactly what door Bluster was knocking on. "Sterling, Mav." "My boy," Bluster wheezed. "The medics. They don't know. It's bad shape. I need someone to take the helm. I was going to ask Lieutenant Carpenter, but he's a boob. A total boob." "Well, Carpenter is a bit of a vacuum, sir," Maverick agreed. "So, I'm appointing you acting base commander. And Pringle here, he'll be your executive officer. Pringle's jaw hit his chest. Me? Executive officer? Oh, Captain, sir, I'll make you proud. I'll be an admiral before the week is out. Maverick sighed. Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I'm no good behind a desk. I'll probably break something. That's an order, Sterling. Go to my office. Take command. Now. Out. I need to suffer in peace. As soon as they left, Blaster sat up and popped a grape into his mouth. Elroy, he said to his aide, get the binoculars. I want to see every second of the marshal's face when he sees Maverick Sterling running this base into the ground. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Three Princesses. The first trial of Maverick's command arrived not in the form of a marshal, but a Grand Duke. The Grand Duke of Marani, a man whose wealth was matched only by his sensitivity to tradition, had been forced to dock his private yacht due to engine trouble. Maverick, now wearing a borrowed and slightly too tight Commodore's jacket, stood on the pier. Beside him, Pringle was wearing a ceremonial sash he'd found in a lost and found bin. Welcome to Viridia, Your Highness. The Grand Duke was flanked by 3 daughters, all of whom looked incredibly bored and incredibly beautiful. I am Karim, the Duke announced. I travel with my most valuable cargo. I expect the utmost dignity. One of Maverick's crew members, a man named Buck, with a penchant for bad jokes, let out a low whistle. Wow, 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 like a chicken. The Grand Duke's face turned the color of an overripe plum. What did he say? He debases the princesses. Maverick stepped in quickly. No, Your Highness. In our country, like a chicken is an ancient ceremonial greeting of the sea. It means, may your wings never tire. The Duke squinted. Indeed? Strange customs you Americans have, but I am intrigued by your small, fast boats. Perhaps I could drive one? An hour later, Maverick found himself letting a Grand Duke steer a multi-million-dollar military interceptor. Just keep the wheel straight, sir. It's very relaxing. I am a natural, the Duke shouted over the roar of the engines. Narrowly missing a coral reef. Back at the office, the phone wouldn't stop ringing. The sinks were still backed up. The garter belt shipment had arrived and was being mistaken for slingshot ammunition by the artillery crew. And Marshal Stone's plane had just touched down. Chapter 4. The Gas of Gladness. Commodore Blaster's plan was working perfectly, or so he thought. He had managed to sneak out of the hospital in a seaman's uniform to spy on Maverick, only to realize that Maverick had actually cleaned up the base surprisingly well, largely by hiding the hula girls in the air raid shelter. I'll get him, Blaster hissed. I'll court-martial that Pringle first. A fitness board hearing. That's what we need. He convened the hearing the following morning. Marshal Stone, a man with a face like a granite cliff, sat as the judge. Maverick knew Pringle wouldn't survive a standard hearing. The man couldn't even stand at attention without vibrating. So, the scoundrels hatched a plan. They had acquired a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas from the dental clinic. As Blaster began his opening statement, Maverick's crew began pumping the gas through the ventilation system. This man, Lieutenant Pringle, is a disgrace to the uniform, Blaster shouted, then suddenly paused. A giggle escaped his lips. He torpedoed a garbage scow. He thought it was a camouflaged submarine. Oh, it's so funny. Marshal Stone leaned forward, his terrifying gaze softening. A garbage scow? With potato peels? Ha. That is rather amusing. And the sinks! Blaster cackled, clutching his sides. The sinks are backing up, and I told them I'm a Commodore, not a plumber. Ha. The hearing descended into madness. Marshal Stone was howling. Blaster was rolling on the floor. Pringle, caught in the crossfire of the gas, started dancing. I'm Chucky Wucky, Pringle shouted, throwing his hat at the marshal. I'm a barrel of fun. Just then, a real air raid siren went off. A rogue pirate vessel from a neighboring lawless island began a shelling run. Pringle, still high on the gas and thinking it was a fireworks display, ran out to the coastal battery. "Look at the pretty lights," Pringle yelled. He pulled the lanyard on a 50 caliber gun and, with the luck of a madman, shot the mast off the pirate ship with a single burst. Marshal Stone, watching from the window while still chuckling, was awestruck. "Look at that man, laughing in the face of death, standing in the open while shells fall. That lad was born for combat. He's a hero." Bluster's jaw dropped. The gas was wearing off, leaving him with a massive headache, and the realization that he had just accidentally turned his least favorite officer into a war hero. Chapter 5. The lost 62,000. The final blow to Bluster's sanity came during a weekend leave in the glamorous resort town of Port Celeste. The base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills, had been entrusted to Pringle for transport. Naturally, Pringle lost it. "I saw a girl's ankle, Maverick," Pringle cried, sitting in a sidewalk cafe. It was beautiful. It had a little brown birthmark in the shape of a heart. I was so distracted. A man in a grey suit just snatched the bag. A heart-shaped birthmark? Maverick leaned back, lighting a cigar. "That's a lead. We find the ankle. We find the money." The crew spent 48 hours scouring Port Celeste. They were lifting tablecloths at high-end restaurants, peeking under benches, and accidentally offending half the female population of the city. Bluster, who had followed them to Noumea to catch them in the act of absconding with the money, was hot on their heels. He eventually cornered them near an old ceremonial cannon in the town square. "I've got you now, Sterling," Bluster screamed, flanked by local police. "Grand larceny. Theft of the payroll. Where is the money?" "Sir, an alligator stole it," Pringle said earnestly. "An alligator named Sydney. He loves peanut butter. An alligator. You expect me to believe an alligator stole the payroll and then ate my ID card?" Suddenly, the same rogue pirates who had attacked the base earlier appeared, having tracked the crew to the city for revenge. A chaotic street fight broke out. Pringle, panicked, ran to the ancient cannon. "I'll save us," he screamed, lighting a fuse on the rusted relic. The cannon didn't fire a ball. Instead, with a deafening thwomp, it exploded into a cloud of green paper. $62,000 rained down on the town square like confetti. The pirates, confused by the sudden wealth, started scrambling for bills, allowing the local police to arrest them. "The payroll!" Maverick shouted, catching a handful of 20s. The crooks must have stashed it in the cannon when they saw the police coming. Bluster stood in the middle of the money rain, frozen. Marshal Stone, who happened to be vacationing nearby, walked over and patted Bluster on the shoulder. "Binghamton. I mean, Bluster. You run a strange base. But your men are effective. And you have a very festive way of distributing the payroll." Stone looked at Maverick. "Sterling, keep up the good work. As for you, Pringle, keep shooting those cannons." As the marshal walked away, Bluster looked at the thousands of bills scattered in the dirt. He looked at Maverick, who was tipping his cap. He looked at Pringle, who was trying to eat a peanut butter sandwich he'd found in his pocket. "Why me?" Bluster whispered to the sky. "Why is it always me?" In the distance, an alligator named Sydney crawled out of the bay. A single $100 bill stuck to his snout and disappeared into the sunset. The end. The chaos of Oasis Prime. A tale of misfits, mutiny, and a very hungry security lizard. Chapter 1. The ulcer of command. The sun over the neon archipelago didn't just shine. It glared with the intensity of a middle manager who had just discovered an unapproved expense report. On the private security island of Oasis Prime, Commander Sterling Vane, a man whose blood pressure was currently high enough to power a small city, was staring at a requisition form with the expression of a man being forced to eat a live cactus. "Garter belts?" Varney screamed, his voice cracking like a dry reed. "You are the logistics officer of a multi-billion-dollar tactical unit, and you are standing here telling me the field nurses require garter belts?" Standing across from him was Junior Officer Pip, a man whose uniform always looked like it had been put on during a localized earthquake. Pip adjusted his glasses, which were perpetually sliding down a nose that seemed designed for sliding. Technically, sir, they say it's for stability. During high-speed hover ambulance maneuvers, they were quite insistent. One of them threatened to accidentally give me a sedative if I didn't snap to it. Vane slammed his fist onto his mahogany desk. Everything is on my shoulders. The war against the syndicates, the rising cost of synthetic fuel, and now I'm the hosiery king of the Pacific. He slumped back, clutching his stomach. My acid levels are reaching a state where I could start a hover car, and it's about to get worse. I just got a priority ping. High Chancellor, steel gaze grim, is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Pip turned pale. Iron Pants Grim? The man who demoted his own mother for having a dusty mantelpiece? The same, Vane groaned. If he sees the state of this base, the clogged nanobot filters in the mess hall, the illegal gambling in the barracks, he'll have my head. Unless a wicked gleam entered Vane's eyes. Sir, Pip asked tentatively, if I was sick, incapacitated, I couldn't be held responsible. I'd have to appoint an acting base commander. Someone expendable. Someone the Chancellor already hates. Pip blinked. Not Captain Jack Sterling? Exactly. Vane let out a maniacal laugh that turned into a hacking cough. With Jax and his pack of high-tech scavengers in charge, they'll turn this place into a circus in 15 minutes. They'll destroy their own careers right in front of the Chancellor. And I'll be safely tucked away in the infirmary. A victim of combat fatigue. Chapter 2. The Coronation of the Scoundrel. Captain Jack Sterling was currently busy. He was supervising a high-stakes game of magnetic darts, played with modified tactical sensors, when Pip and a suffering Commander Vane arrived. Vane was draped over Pip's shoulder, groaning with the theatricality of a dying opera star. Jax. Vane wheezed. The medics. They don't know what's wrong. Some kind of rare tropical virus. Or perhaps a malfunctioning cyber implant. Jax, a man with a permanent smirk and a jacket that had more unauthorized modifications than a black market droid, didn't look convinced. Looks like a classic case of inspectionitis to me, Commander. You sure you don't just need a nap? I am appointing you. Acting Base Commander. Vane gasped, ignoring the jab. And Pip here will be your executive officer. Pip's eyes widened. Executive officer? Me? I've never even executed a sandwich correctly. It's an order, Vane barked, before falling into another fake coughing fit. Take my office. The Chancellor's greeting. As Vane was wheeled away, Jax looked at Pip and the rest of the crew, Gabs the hacker, Tiny the weapons tech, and Slick the pilot. Well, boys, Jax grinned. The old man wants us to run the shop. I say we give Oasis Prime the upgrade it deserves. First order of business. The Petty Officers Club needs a new sound system. Second order of business. Does anyone know where the garter belts are? Chapter 3. The Maharaja and the Influencers. The chaos started almost immediately. Within 3 hours of Jax taking command, the acting leadership had accidentally authorized a shipment of luxury silk to be sent to the front line and managed to confuse the base's radar for a digital jukebox. But the real trouble arrived in the form of a golden hover yacht. It wasn't the Chancellor. It was the Maharaja of Mars City, a billionaire ally of the company, arriving with his 3 princesses, internationally famous social media influencers who had more followers than the archipelago had citizens. Commander Jax, the Maharaja boomed, stepping off the yacht. Jax didn't miss a beat. That's specialized combat training, Your Highness. Low-profile infiltration. The Maharaja looked impressed. Fascinating. My daughters would love to see more of your culture. Perhaps a traditional banquet? Jax looked at his crew. They had no food, but they did have 20 cases of confiscated moonshine and a lot of stolen hula party decorations. Your Highness, we shall prepare a feast, the likes of which Mars City has never seen. Just dear pussy, dear pussy, dear there. Don't mind the executive officer. He's currently blindfolded for tactical weapon disassembly training. Indeed, Pip was in the corner, blindfolded, desperately trying to reassemble a plasma rifle, while the crew used the opportunity to sneak the base's unauthorized residents, a group of professional dancers from a nearby resort, into the air raid shelters to hide them from the upcoming Chancellor inspection. Chapter 4. The Euphoria Gas Gambit. Commander Vane, recovering in the infirmary, was furious. He had heard reports that Jax wasn't failing, he was thriving. The Maharaja loved the casual atmosphere of Oasis Prime. He needs to be stopped. Vane hissed to his sycophantic aide, Carpenter, I'll call a fitness board. We'll prove Pip is mentally unfit to hold his rank. That'll bring Jax down with him. The crew caught wind of the plan. They knew a standard hearing would end Pip's career. We need to get Vane in a good mood, Jax mused. A really good mood. Gubbs, what did we find in that medical shipment? Euphoria gas. Captain, Gubbs grinned. Highly concentrated, laughing gas used for deep tissue surgery. One whiff, and you'd think a firing squad was a comedy troupe. The plan was executed with military precision. As Vane sat in his office, preparing the charges against Pip, the crew pumped the gas through the ventilation system. 5 minutes later, Commander Vane wasn't screaming. He was giggling. He was skipping through the corridors of the command center, throwing rose petals at the guards and calling everyone Binky Winky. Oh, Chucky Wucky! Vane laughed, hugging the terrified aide Carpenter. Cancel the hearing. Pip is a genius. He torpedoed a garbage scow? How whimsical. I love garbage. I love you. I love the world. When the Chancellor finally arrived, he found Vane dancing on a table with a flower tucked behind his ear. Jax stepped forward, looking every bit the professional. Apologies, Chancellor. Commander Vane is suffering from combat joy. It's a very rare condition. He's been hallucinating about hula girls. All day, the Chancellor looked at the skipping commander. Hallucinating? You say? He's pointing at that empty air raid shelter and claiming it's full of dancers. Terrible, isn't it, sir? Jack sighed. The stress of command finally broke him. Chapter 5. Barnaby the Security Lizard. Just when the crew thought they were safe, a new problem arose. Barnaby. Barnaby was a 3-meter-long, cybernetically enhanced monitor lizard used for perimeter security. He was supposed to be a mindless killing machine, but Pip had a soft spot for him and had been feeding him peanut butter sandwiches. Barnaby, in a gesture of misguided affection, had wandered into the commander's office and retrieved Vane's digital wallet, which contained the encrypted access codes to the entire base's payroll. The lizard ate the payroll? Vane screamed, the laughing gas having finally worn off. Jax, I have you now. Theft of corporate funds. I have the serial numbers. I'll have you all in the brig by sunset. Sir, Barnaby didn't steal it, Pip pleaded. He just borrowed it. He has an unhappy childhood. He's a victim of the system. The trial of the lizard was a surreal affair. Vane attempted to prosecute the reptile, while Pip acted as the defense attorney. The courtroom was packed. Wielatu kurumos pak. Paniturumos. I object, Pip shouted. The prosecution is calling Barnaby stupid. This is lizard shaming of the highest order. The trial ended abruptly when Jax led Barnaby into the room, using a train of peanut butter. The lizard, confused by the shouting, climbed onto the Chancellor's lap and deposited the digital wallet, along with a partially chewed sandwich, right into the Chancellor's hands. Is this the stolen payroll, Vane? The Chancellor asked, wiping lizard drool off the encrypted device. Yes, but... The lizard... And Jax, Commander Vane, the Chancellor said coldly, if you are being outsmarted by a reptile and a man who feeds it peanut butter, perhaps you aren't fit for this archipelago. Chapter 6. The Ghost of PT-13. Friday the 13th arrived at Oasis Prime with a literal bang. A freak electrical storm knocked out the island's power, and Jax decided to use the superstition to his advantage. Vane had been trying to force the crew to sign transfer papers to the most dangerous sector in the war zone. The 73 isn't just a boat, sir, Jax told Vane during a candlelit dinner. It was originally the PT-13. A jinxed vessel, legend says the original crew still haunts the decks, looking for their lost payroll. That night, using holographic projectors and some very high-pitched recordings, the crew turned the base into a haunted house. Vane, already on edge, found himself being chased by spectral sailors who looked remarkably like Pip in a white sheet. The transfers. The ghostly Jax wailed, floating outside Vane's window via a stealth hover rig. Give us the transfers, Wally. We need them for our records in the afterlife. They run a very tight cloud up there. Terrified and convinced he was being haunted by the victims of his own ambition, Vane signed the papers not for the crew's transfer, but for his own resignation from the sector. By the time the sun rose, the crew had shredded the resignation and replaced it with a permanent do not disturb order for the 73. Chapter 7. The Great Heist and the Rusty Cannon. The final act of the Oasis Prime comedy began when the actual payroll $62,000 in physical high-denomination credits for the local black market traders went missing during a transport run to the nearby city of New Caledonia. Pip had been distracted by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle, and while he was investigating her legal status, a group of local bandits had swiped the cash. We're dead, Pip moaned. Vane will have us for breakfast. Literally. I think he's bought a cookbook on how to prepare ensigns. We need a distraction, Jack said, looking at the base's ornamental plasma cannon, a relic from the First Corporate War. And we need that money. They tracked the bandits to an old warehouse. As the bandits prepared to escape in a high-speed skiff, Jax and the crew arrived with the rusty cannon towed behind their hover jeep. Stop in the name of the law, Pip shouted, waving a megaphone. The bandits laughed. What are you going to do? That cannon hasn't fired since the turn of the century. Maybe not, Jax grinned. But it makes a great delivery system. As the bandits' boat sped away, Jax lit the fuse on the cannon. Instead of a plasma bolt, the cannon let out a pathetic thwip and a cloud of black smoke, but the force of the malfunction caused the barrel to sneeze out its contents. The stolen payroll, which the bandits had hidden inside the cannon earlier that day. The sky literally rained money. Credits fell like snow over the harbor. Vane arrived just in time to see $62,000 floating in the air. My money, the payroll. McHale, you stole it. Stole it? Jax asked, catching a 500 credit bill. We were just conducting a high-altitude financial distribution test, sir. Very successful. I'm sure the Chancellor will be impressed with our transparency. Epilogue. The sunset of Oasis Prime. As the sun dipped below the horizon of the Neon Archipelago, Captain Jack Sterling sat on the deck of the 73, Barnaby the lizard resting at his feet. Pip was busy trying to explain to a group of nurses why he had requisitioned 1,000 jars of peanut butter. In the distance, the sound of Commander Vane screaming at a lamppost could be heard echoing across the water. You know, Pip, Jack said, leaning back. Command isn't so hard. You just need a lizard, some laughing gas, and a total lack of respect for the chain of command. I think I'm gonna faint, Skip, Pip sighed. Permission granted, Jax laughed. Permission granted. End of file. The Chaos of Port Pandemonium. A novel of nautical nonsense and high seas hilarity. Chapter 1. The Ulcer of Command. The humid air of the Emerald Archipelago didn't just hang. It clung to you like a wet woolen blanket soaked in cheap gin. At the heart of this tropical purgatory sat Port Pandemonium, a supply outpost that the Ministry of Defense had seemingly forgotten to include on any map that mattered. Commander Barnaby the Blaster. Sterling sat in his office, staring at a requisition form for silk stockings and garter belts. His face was the color of an overripe tomato about to burst. Garter belts, Sterling roared, slamming his fist onto a desk covered in antacid tablets. Pumpernickel, where is that bumbling excuse for a supply officer? Junior Lieutenant Pip Pumpernickel tripped over the threshold before he was even through the door. He was a man whose primary relationship was with gravity, and gravity was a cruel mistress. Sir, present end, mostly upright. Sir, Pip squeaked, adjusting his glasses which were currently hanging off one ear. The nurses are demanding garter belts, pumpernickel. We are in the middle of a global conflict, and I am being harassed by hosiery. Do you realize the position I'm in? I'm the commanding officer. Not a haberdasher. Sterling's phone rang. He snatched it up. Sterling here. Who is this? Tokyo Rose. If this is about the backed-up sinks in the petty officer's lounge again, I'm not a plumber. I'm a strategist. Oh, yes, Admiral. Right away, Admiral. Sterling's face turned from tomato red to a ghostly, chalky white. He hung up and looked at Pip with the eyes of a condemned man. Admiral Steel Grip Stone is coming. On a sneak inspection. Today, Pip gasped. Admiral Stone was legendary. They called him Steel Grip, because that was exactly what he did to the careers of officers who had messy bases. And Port Pandemonium was less of a base and more of a floating circus. Everything is on my shoulders. Sterling moaned, grabbing a handful of white pills. My stomach acid could start a tractor. Pip, I can't face him. If I were sick, truly, medically incapacitated. Someone Stone already hates, someone expendable. His eyes drifted toward the window, looking out at the docks, where a battered, grease-stained patrol boat, the Sea Wasp, was currently being used by its crew to grill stolen lobsters. Captain Lucky Jack's Maverick, Sterling whispered, a wicked grin spreading across his face. He's perfect. He's a saltwater pirate. If he runs this base into the ground in front of Stone, the Admiral will court-martial him, and I'll be seen as the poor, suffering invalid who tried his best. Sir, that's devious, Pip said, impressed. Call the medic. I feel a tropical seizure coming on. Hurry, tell them I'm at death's door. Chapter 2. The Pirate Regent. Captain Jack's Maverick was not a man of regulations. He wore his cap at an angle that suggested he was constantly in a crosswind, and his uniform usually had more mustard stains than medals. When he was summoned to Sterling's deathbed, he found the commander draped over a chaise lounge, groaning like a haunted foghorn. Oh, Maverick, it's the end. Sterling wheezed, clutching his stomach. The doctors. They say it's a rare case of archipelago ague. I must appoint an acting base commander. And Jax, I want it to be you. Jax narrowed his eyes. Me? Barnaby. You usually try to have me arrested if I'm within 50 feet of your office. In times of crisis, we turn to our best. Sterling lied, nearly choking on his own insincerity. And I'm appointing Pumpernickel here as your executive officer. Go, take command. My office is yours. Jack shrugged. Well, if it's an order. Come on, Pip. Let's go see what the brass looks like from the big chair. As soon as Jax left, Sterling sat bolt upright. Carpenter, get me a martini. Jax, however, took to command like a shark to a bloodbath. Within an hour, Port Pandemonium had changed. The Sea Wasp crew, a collection of misfits, including a moonshine distilling mechanic named Greasy Bill and a gambler named Dice Dalton, had turned the command center into a bustling hub of unofficial business. The phone rang. Jax picked it up. Maverick here. Garter belts? Yeah, we found them. Sending them over by catapult. What? The air raid shelter? Yeah, tell the boys to open it up for the hula party. Full speed ahead. Pip was frantic. Jax, you can't throw a hula party in an air raid shelter. The Admiral is coming. Relax, Pip, Jax said, leaning back with his feet on the mahogany desk. If there's an inspection, we'll just tell him it's a cultural exchange program. Now, where's that payroll? I heard there's a high-stakes poker game starting in the laundry shack. Chapter 3. The King and the Princesses. The chaos reached a fever pitch when word arrived that the King of Zandara was arriving with his 3 daughters. Zandara was a tiny, oil-rich island whose neutrality was vital to the war effort. Sterling, watching from his hospital window, cackled. Maverick will offend the king within 5 minutes. Stone will arrive, see Jax drinking with a sultan, and it'll be the firing squad for sure. Jax met the king at the docks. The king was a tall, regal man in shimmering robes, accompanied by 3 heavily veiled daughters Welcome to the pandemonium. Your Majesty, Jack said, giving a bow that was surprisingly graceful. I seek protection. The king said, regally, my daughters are the jewels of Zandara. They must be treated with the utmost sanctity. No man must touch them. No man must even look upon them too closely. Sanctity is our middle name, Jax promised, while behind him, Dice Dalton was already trying to catch a glimpse of an ankle. The king was impressed with Jax's boat. I wish to handle the wheel. It is a magnificent craft. Be my guest, Kingy, Jax said, as the king steered the Sea Wasp in erratic circles, nearly ramming a supply ship. Sterling's plan began to backfire. The king loved the informal American style. He invited Jax to a grand banquet. Meanwhile, Sterling's frustration grew. He decided to plant a femme fatale